What up, chat? Rate my drip. Rate the drip. What's good? Okay, we got 3 minutes left. Chat, remember, be respectful. This is a really W interview for my channel. We did it a month ago, and the last time the questions from the chat were very mid. People were asking like, how do I make friends? Everything sound good? No echo? Oh, echo. Ain't no echo? All right, we good. We good, right? I'm about to call him. Read my drip, chat. He's coming on in 3. We had a little problems with Discord, but everything should be good. Welcome, Happy Vibes. What's up, chat? W Daily Streamer. What's up to all my members? What's up to all my day ones? Welcome back. I'm very excited. I got some questions. I want to learn from him. Tristan Tate is big, bro. Make sure to check me out on Rumble. SNEAKO live on Rumble. You can find the Tate Brothers. You can find the Emergency Meetings Tate Speech on Rumble. But for now, I'm good. They suspended my Twitter, so the Matrix is attacking me too for a bunch of bullshit. But I want to get into the truth about a lot of what's going on today with Tristan Tate. I want to figure out what's going on behind the scenes. I want to ask him maybe some personal questions, and then ask him how he deals with the hate. And also how we could be better men. Because that's the message that I got from watching his videos. Chad, is Tristan Tate underrated? I feel like he's underrated. Andrew takes a lot of the... Well, takes pretty much all the credit. Thank you, Rudy. SNEAKO bot 6.0, but seriously, do you think that SNEAKO can play Mark from Invincible? I don't even know what you're talking about. Okay, chat. All right, let me call him. It's about time. Oh, there's no chat on the screen. Should I just hide the chat so I don't get distracted? Nah, chat. We keep it on all the time. Tourne dans la ville, vite, tourne dans la ville, vite, tout.
You hear me okay?
Yep, I hear you. I don't see you.
Yeah, I can see the video thing is loading for some reason. Let me turn the camera off and back on. I don't know what's up. You know, I tested this just 1 second ago.
Yeah, we did just test it. I think you see the camera icon on the bottom?
Yeah.
If you turn it off and on.
Turned it off and on. What the fuck? Okay. Off. On. Again.
Wow, Chad, this was just working.
It really was. We did just test it. But everyone can hear me okay, yeah?
Yeah, they hear you. Maybe disconnect the call and try to call me back?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Of course, chat. Of course that happened. Hey, stop saying Boomer Tate. And stop saying Taco Tate. I don't appreciate that. I don't appreciate that. Tristan Tate's big, bro. Through the screen, through the internet. I remember, Chad, last time he said I was going to get that millionaire party. You remember that? If I get $1 million in a year? Remember, you can sign up to the Creativity Kit. I'm going to bring someone with me from the Creativity Kit to that Tristan Tate millionaire party. That's what I'm really looking forward to. I'm not going to lie. But the Creativity Kit, we're doing another call. What's today? Thursday? We got another call tomorrow, 4 p.m. That's where we have regular networking calls. Damn, the Super Chats are busting right now. Tristan's favorite cigar. We need a SNEAKO. Bro, shout out to Sunny Faz. I can call you again. Tristan, will you train SNEAKO to fight LSI? Respect. Bro, chat, chill out. The Super Chats, I didn't even get him in a call yet, bro. Let me call him back. Let's see if it works now. Wait, what? This is calling myself. Shout out to all my Romanians. I gotta learn your language, bro. You have the weirdest language in the world. Hey, stop saying Mexican Tate. It's bro, I'm Filipino first off, and half Asian. It's kind of racist. I don't appreciate that. Uh-oh. He's texting me. He's restarting, chat. He's restarting. Okay, now you can put Boomer Tate in the chat. Even though he's the younger brother. Do you hear that they were saying that in the podcast the other day? They were like, you keep calling yourself an old... Oh, I shouldn't do the Andrew impression, but they're saying that he's in his prime even though he's 35 because he always calls himself old. I think he only thinks he's old, and they think they're old because they're in calls with us all the time. Gen Z ass. Bro, I hope I get to your milli soon. Appreciate you. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get that. I want to bring somebody from the Creativity Kit. Yo, chat. We got any Creativity Kit members in the chat? You can sign up below. It's public now. We got an affiliate link busting too. You know damn well everything's gonna be busting from this stream. Those clips. We got their affiliate link going up, and not even that. Also, chat. If you want to start making money online, stop scrolling and start monetizing. You need to, if you're wasting your... Oh, shit, he's in here?
Mike, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Well, I can't fucking see me, and I don't know what's wrong with my video. I was saying, what the fuck is this to myself? And I have no idea what's going wrong between us testing this and everything going bad.
You want me to set up a Zoom call?
You know what? Yeah, fuck it. Fuck it, set up a Zoom call. I told you Discord always fucks with me, man. I told you. Alright, set up a Zoom call. I'm here, guys, though. Don't worry. 2 minutes, I'll be on.
Alright. Damn, chat. Alright. Zoom in 2022 is crazy. Zoom in 2022 is crazy, bro. Bro, I don't even remember what the last time I used Zoom is, bro. I don't even know my Zoom password. The Discord ban... Bro, I swear to God, chat, it was working right before the stream. It was working perfectly fine. Did the Matrix just fucking hit it right when it started streaming? Okay, give me some else. Give me some else. Now I gotta set up the Zoom, bro. And we're live. Oh, my Lord. Okay. Give me a sec, chat. What the fuck is my Zoom, bro? Yo, WRL Zoom. I hate this app. Maybe he can send me a link? Oh, it's his cameras. All right, he's restarting Discord. Chat, relax. Sneaky, shut the fuck, sneaky, yo. Susan, come on, man. Susan, can you give me a break? I'm panicking right now. Okay, he's restarting, And yo, I really don't have the patience to do Zoom right now. Loom. Alright, just waiting on him, chat. Just waiting on him. Yeah, give me some L's, give me some L's. But in the meantime, the Creativity Kit is live now, it's public. And you can easily blow up an account. Let me show the TikToks real quick. Let me show you all the TikTokers. Let me just shout them out while we got some time.
Poppin' a Medi.
Shut up. Shut up.
Poppin' a Medi.
Oh, God. Poppin' a Medi. You see how this is just rotting your brain? You should be on TikTok making money. And a good way, too, is to grow an account It's very easy too. Shout out to every single SNEAKO TikToker. And now when you want to get a job outside of this, even if you don't want to get the affiliate link and have Soy Boys call you a pyramid schemer, it's easy to make money by showing proof. Look, I ran up in a 100,000 follower account on someone else's page. I know how social media works. Look at them. All these TikTokers are getting to it. I just hired somebody from, well, I don't want to say exactly who it was, but I just hired somebody who got an account to run up to this level. Got a full-time job now. Kid's 14 years old. All these people here clipping it up every day, getting stupid bread. And now with the affiliate link from the Creativity Kit, you can make some real money. Look at that, bro. It's so easy. What do you mean my atrocious jacket? Yeah, WL on my jacket. The fuck you talking about? This is drip. This is drip. W, right? Please don't give me an L spam right now. My self-esteem's too low. Damn, there's a lot of Romanians in here. Shout out Romania. I'm trying to pull up. Yo, fuck you, chat. This is a W jacket. What are you talking about? I spent like $200 on this, bro. What the why are you spamming? Does anyone support me as every single one? All you are haters? You know that all the haters are soy boys, right? You know that every single one of you that's hating is a feminist? Yeah, shout out the Romanians, though. Yo, give me a Romanian phrase real quick. I want to learn your language. Do you think that running a sex telephony agency contradicts what Andrew says, be strong men, but he makes money on weak guys just like Instagram chicks? Well, they don't do that anymore. They don't do the webcam business anymore. This is how they ran it up. And I disagree with having an audience and then promoting demonic behavior, promoting OnlyFans girls to your young audience. But they didn't have an audience. They made it from broke to rich using a webcam business, not knowing how bad it was. You can't compare the two. There you go, bag chaser, Antonio. That's why you're a bag chaser. Exactly, Esanum. Yeah. Yeah. What do you think, Chad? WL on the webcam business. I think it's a W to run it up online. But I think it's an L to sell that to your audience that looks up to you and respects you. If you take advantage of people that look up to you and selling them garbage and what they know is going to make you worse and make you mentally weaker and slower, then that's an L. Welcome all my members. What's up, Green Chat? La Big Drippo. Yeah, you feel me? This is the Bane jacket, man. I was born in the dark, raised by it, molded by it. Hey, yo, chat. I hate wearing headphones because my haircut kind of drippy right now. You get the fade and everything like that. Tristan's not wearing headphones. He gets to show off the good haircut. When I get on the stream, I look like a dork every single time with these giant, like, I'm gonna go on a Zoom call. You should link Nick Fuentes up with Tate. Shout out to Groypers, Nick Fuentes, everybody. Cozy TV, check that out too. But also follow me on Rumble, SNEAKO Live on Rumble. I'm re-uploading all my videos there. I'm gonna start streaming on Rumble too, because I have 2 strikes on my channel for COVID and election misinformation. And if you guys don't know, they're actively trying to ban me. Like, it's not just me trying to victimize myself and talk about the Matrix. There's a lot of people out there. I'm getting the same effect that happened to the Tate brothers. They want me gone. They want me gone. So follow me on Rumble, SNEAKO Live. Let me show you what they're doing right now. And like, let's say if this is W or L. I thought that it was against terms of service to go encourage your fans to mass report, but it's not. We actually found out from YouTube support that this is allowed. Look at that. Look at the soy boys look exactly the same trying to ban me. Copy and paste, Harry Potter looking ass. YouTube should ban SNEAKO. Pussy. Yo, YouTube's watching right now. WRL chat. Should you be allowed to tell your fans to mass report somebody that you disagree with? Oh, he's calling me. Okay.
We should be in business. Can you hear me okay?
Hear you great. How you doing? Did you change?
Awesome. And you can see me. No, this is exactly what I was wearing beforehand. But
okay.
I didn't have the jacket on, you know? I see you looking quite fly tonight. I've got a similar coat myself, but mine's a little bit better, obviously.
Of course. You had to big me already.
Yeah, you're not looking bad, you know? Well, the thing is, last time you tried to one-up me. You tried to come in a suit when I wasn't wearing a suit. I was in a t-shirt, so I thought, let me just put on a 7,000-pound tailored jacket, you know, and a $200,000 watch just to let SNEAKO know that I'm still the man.
All right.
And I'm the one to be looked up to.
All right, I wasn't trying to one-up you. I was trying to show a sign of respect. You're the guy with the suit. That was our disagreement in the first place. So, like, yeah, I tried my best. It was my graduation suit, but fine. I threw it out.
Yeah, good. Don't worry. I'll give you styling tips. Oh, it's the shoes, though. You think I'm on a podcast and I'm not wearing the best shoes. It's the shoes you're not ready for, SNEAKO. Is your audience ready for the shoes? Let me show you something.
I'm not wearing shoes. This is...
These are handmade lizard skin shoes. Green to match the jacket and the face of the watch. Lizard skin, bro. They gotta kill lizards and shit to make these, and they're handmade for my feet, so they're comfortable as slippers.
How much?
You're not ready for the shoes, SNEAKO. Wait, you think I'm sitting here in my boxer shorts underneath? No. It's not just the top half. I gotta stay stylish, head to toe. That's what I represent. I didn't want to be accidentally standing up. You see, I'm in my underwear or some shit. Not how I'm wrong. I'm gonna put the shoe back on now. But yeah, technical issues solved. And I'm happy to be here. So thank you for having me on your stream once again. I appreciate it.
It's good to have you back. It's good to be big broed by somebody like Tristan. We got the real life James Bond, a.k.a. Talisman Tate. What has changed since we last spoke? A lot has changed, right?
Well, yeah, a lot has changed. And the best way I can describe my life is every single week that goes by, I think it can't get any better. And then it somehow does. So, since we last spoke, everything has gone exceptionally well. I couldn't have planned this better if I was, you know, in charge of YouTube and Instagram banning us myself. So, everything's worked out well. I got great new platforms. More people are watching me than ever before. I think the stream numbers on this are going to be much bigger than they were last month. Everyone's more eager to hear what I have to say because I know everyone's trying to shut me up. I'm making more money than ever before. Yeah, life's good, man. Life's good. I simply cannot complain ever.
How has the switch to Rumble been?
Wonderful, man. Wonderful. Rumble, you know, the video quality is smoother and better. The platform has all the features that YouTube has super chats built in, as monetization. But they haven't demonetized me like YouTube did. So finally, you know, I'm actually making some money from posting my content and posting my videos. So the move to Rumble's been beneficial in very, very many ways. And yeah, no, we love Rumble. And the CEO... you know, only my brother has spoken to him. I've never actually spoken to him face to face. It's not that he necessarily is a fan or believes in what we say, but he's just a very switched on, fair guy who believes that you should be able to speak freely as long as you're not hurting anybody, and nobody should be silenced for being on the opposite end of one or two very petty arguments. So, yeah, wonderful platform run by wonderful people. Couldn't be happier with Rumble. And again, you know, I think this is a shout out to all content creators out there. If you think there's a chance of, you know, YouTube not liking what you have to say, if they hit you with strikes occasionally, you need to move over to Rumble as well.
I already have an account, SNEAKO Live on Rumble. I'm gonna start live streaming on there too. I've repurposed all my content. I've been on YouTube for 9 years before I started streaming. This streaming thing is all new. I used to do like artistic videos and everything. I'm putting all those up too because I feel like what happens to creators if they take down one channel, they take down all of your channels. And
yeah,
since we last spoke, I have a strike for COVID and election misinformation. They suspended my Twitter. And I'm not sure if this is the same attack that happened to your YouTube channel. I think it's a lot of leftists and people who disagree mass reporting everything.
Yeah, it's mass reporting. Mine was not mass reporting. We had Take Speech was owned by my brother. Take Confidential was owned by me. In the same second, they vanished. No strikes, no reports. So that was a really hard attack. You've just got the crazy people on your account trying to mass report you. That similar things happening to some of the platforms I still have, but what am I going to do? I'm on Getter, wonderful platform instead of Instagram and Twitter. I'm on Rumble. Everyone wants to hear the message me and Andrew put out, so all of my fans are still finding me. I get the chance, luckily, when people like you are happy to have me on their platforms on YouTube. Or my brother, he recently did a podcast with Patrick Bet David. That got 2.5 million views in a few days. So the attempt to silence us has all but failed. It's just made us bigger and louder. So I couldn't be happier.
Well, our first podcast I had to delete from YouTube because the person I had on after was speaking. So yeah, that was one of my most viewed live streams. It was at 1 million, and I had to remove that, unfortunately. But what do you think is going through the heads of the executives at the big tech industries, like all the big tech corporations right now? The fact that they've been able to cancel most of your platforms except for your Instagram right now. That should stay. But what do you think that they're thinking right now? The fact that they canceled everything but your audience.
Well, look, what you have to understand is I'm not mad at the tech platforms. If you're a very busy person working at the head of a massive tech organization and 10,000 people email you saying this person is dangerous, this person's hateful, those people don't have time to watch 3 months of my content or however many thousand hours of stuff I put out there. They're like, okay, this is the mass consensus. This is generally what people think, because the people who hate me were so much louder than the people who love me. We should maybe silence this guy on YouTube. Maybe we should get his brother and silence him on Instagram. I understand why they did it, and I'm not mad at them. So whoever's at the top of these platforms, I genuinely believe, although maybe a few small percentage of them may be crazies who just want to ban anyone who says anything that's moderately sane. I think a lot of the people at the top are probably smart, business-minded individuals. They're watching the wave of support that my brother and myself are getting. They're watching the consensus and the opinion of us really fold out because our fans are now speaking up since we got banned. And they're realizing, you know what, these guys aren't so bad. I see a world where I am invited back onto these platforms very soon. Whether or not I'll take that invite is a different story. But no one with a brain, and to reach the top of any big company, especially in big tech, you have to be smart. No one with a brain is now sitting around thinking, yeah, I'm glad I shut those guys up. Nobody.
Do you think this is part of the Great Reset? Do you think that this is part of the ultimate control that they're trying to take? Silencing people like you?
I wouldn't say, yes, absolutely. I was going to say, I don't think silencing me is part of the Great Reset, but having a voice like mine out there speaking to young men and trying to inspire young men is very much counterproductive to the Great Reset and what they're trying to do. So it was definitely a big part of preparing the minds of the young, the Matrix programming. But I've now seen an account that runs, it's a wealth motivation account with a few million views. I'm not going to say its name because I don't want it to get attacked any further. Have people reporting all of their videos. They're having videos. They have some of me, some of my brother, just speaking. And they have videos by that former Marine, David Goggins, that, motivational,
the
stay
Navy
fit,
SEAL
stay
guy,
healthy.
yeah.
Yeah, and David Goggins' videos on these wealth pages are now being taken down for violation of whatever community support guidelines. So I'm like, that guy is just a former Marine who got into great shape, who tells people, to go running and stay in shape. And they're taking some of his videos down on very big pages that I know of. I hope he's not next. But it's I don't know it, but it's crazy. I don't know if these people are going to double down or if they're going to lift their foot off the gas and actually let people speak. But even if they don't, my audience, they know where to find me. And they're finding me everywhere I pop up.
I think before you and your brother got on YouTube and before you started spreading this message, a lot of people called people like me crazy. And a lot of people said that conspiracy theorists were talking about the active agenda to make men weaker, and we were talking about the problems that are going on and the control that big tech has. We were called crazy. But now it's become really obvious after what's happened to your YouTube channel. I think a lot of people watching this chat right now are motivated, inspired, and they realize for the first time, like, yo, everything is fucked. This is all against us. What do you think the common man could do to join the fight?
You need to get together with other men who are like-minded. That will always be my advice. I think that there's always been, the male population, I feel like the natural order of men is to think like me or to think like you. I think that it can be programmed out of you as long as you're isolated. They want men lonely. They want men without girlfriends, spending all their time online, not, mixing with each other, not training together, not networking together. And if they can isolate you, then they can program you, and you've got no one there to deprogram you. It's one of the reasons that my brother and myself never fell at all for any of this, because we've always had each other to bounce ideas off of to call bullshit bullshit when we see it on television. I think the best thing you could do is find some like-minded men and team up. Like, very much like drug addicts and alcoholics have their sponsors, you know what I mean? They'll get together in their Alcoholics Anonymous meetings, and they'll team up in a group of 3 or 4, and whenever someone feels like drinking, you know, they'll call the other one. I'm not an Alcoholics Anonymous advocate. I think that you should obviously control your drinking habits. I'm drinking beer right now. But, stick together with other like-minded men. Have guys on your team who agree with you, who have the same worldview as you, and then if you find yourself sitting there thinking, you know what? My daughter's kicking this soccer ball around. Maybe she's trans. Your friends are going to check you and say, you know what, just let her kick the fucking soccer ball. She's a baby. So don't go at it alone. Don't try and take on the world by yourself.
What about fighting big tech? Because seems like that's the new mission, moving to Rumble. And what I've heard Andrew say, I don't know if I've heard you say that, but that's the next step, I think. After you've proven how the Matrix is against you. Like, them banning you is just proof. They haven't given a specific reason. Just delete off of every single platform. LinkedIn, Airbnb, even your Stripe got removed too, right?
Yep, my Stripe. Some banking apps that I have as well, just nuked out of nowhere. A UK bank account I had got shut down at the same time. We're dangerous people, so we're not allowed to do anything apparently.
So it's just literal proof. They all work together. So.
Exactly. It's the Chinese social credit score system, and it's right here in the West, but it's underneath everybody's noses, and nobody realizes yet. But, you know, when they come for you, you're going to realize it's very real. But I would say I'm not trying to... What's ironic is this, and the God's honest truth is, I was living a great life before I came on YouTube. My life was very fun. I was a high net worth individual already pushing supercars, already living very well. And I thought, you know what, Andrew, let's just get a cameraman and stick some of our stuff on YouTube. I was just trying to show videos of me drinking and driving cars and having fun with my friends and going on vacations. That's all I wanted to do. I didn't want to engage big tech in any kind of war. I wasn't trying to break the monopoly of big tech because I honestly didn't care. It wasn't anything that it wasn't a game that I had any skin in. However, now I just feel like who better than myself and my brother to do this? Like, though, it's almost like we've been chosen for this fight. Because we didn't do anything wrong. We never said anything wrong. And we became, you know, very, very popular. A lot of people wanted to hear what we had to say. And they axed us after we spoke for years about how they're eventually going to ban us, how the Matrix wants to silence people like me. So I was proven right and vindicated. Now all eyes are on me. So I have to take up the sword, unfortunately. And it's a battle that I'm winning. And even if... I'm not saying I'm going to make Rumble as big as YouTube. I'm not saying I'm going to make Getter as big as Instagram. I'm not saying any of these things. What I'm saying is I'm going to prove that there is a bridge to cross to stay relevant when you get banned. It's no longer going to be a fatality that ends you in your existence. Me and my brother are opening up the pathways and opening up the paths and the bridges for people to know, okay, if this platform doesn't like what I have to say, if they're anti-free speech enough to silence me for giving my opinion, then I'm going to do what the Tates have done. So I'm just leading by example. So I've taken up the fight involuntarily. This wasn't something I really wanted to do, but I'm glad I'm doing it. So.
How do you deal with all that insane pressure? What I want to ask you more about later is like dealing with hate online and stuff like that, but it's really dawning on me how this is so minor, like having a bunch of soy boys and feminists attack you and report you. It's just minor compared to having all of big tech wanting you to be erased completely, and you don't even seem like you care. When you call me up, you're like, I'm gonna go to Croatia and I got a yacht, and you're there with a bunch of girls and just you're chilling. How does that not stress you the fuck? I don't get it.
You know what? Money can fix a lot of problems. So the real stressful situations were newspaper reporters coming to my mother's house, coming to my house, trying to bother me, trying to get interviews with me. I've got a big security team at my house. That's why I'm happy to go live from the studio at my house. Everyone knows where I am right now. You know, fuck around and find out. If you want to fly to Bucharest and come to my house, you're going to run into trouble. But, you know, money solves a lot of problems. My mom was stressed out because some British newspapers were harassing her. Keep in mind, she's a 63-year-old woman, banging at her door, waving microphones in her face. And I just, you know, put her in a 5-star hotel in London, $3,000 a night, the best service. I said, Mom, you're on vacation. You know, you can alleviate a lot of the stress and a lot of problems that come along with just having money. And in terms of fighting the Matrix. It's why one of the tenets that my brother preaches, and something I preach to all of my friends, is making money is super important and you have to have money. For example, can you imagine my entire income stream was my YouTube channel? My entire income stream was me being an Instagram influencer, and then they shut you down? Then you are fucked, because then you've got bills to pay. Right. You could silence me. You could shut me down. I'm not even going to tell you how much money I have in the bank, but I could never earn another penny for the rest of my life. And as long as I stopped being too crazy with money, I'd never need to work again. So, okay, you shut down my YouTube channel. Boo-hoo. What am I going to do? Cry about it? I was demonetized anyway.
Right.
I'm just trying to show people a better way of living.
All my videos get demonetized automatically. I have to wait for all of them to get reviewed. I have 2 strikes on my channel. See, this is why it stresses me out. You're in a different position. You've been an entrepreneur for many years, have all these business ventures. Do you understand why like a lot of the YouTubers flipped and are now against you have become your haters because it's profitable to hate you now? But someone like me, the reason it's stressful is like, this is my bread and butter. This is what I do. I have my creativity kit course. I have my little side ventures, but this is where all the bread comes in. So I'm stressed out because, you know, you're fine. You can just go on a yacht in Croatia when you get banned. You don't give a fuck. What, like, I'm going to be like, what the hell do I do? I moved to Miami. I got a new apartment. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a different...
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. What advice do you have for someone like me? What should I do to... Because I want to keep fighting the good fight, but also you got to navigate the system and you got to bob and weave and figure out the rules. There's a lot of things I just can't talk about.
You do. I would say, and I really do mean this, you know, you've got a great YouTube channel. Don't do anything to compromise your channel too heavily. I don't know what you did on the previous live stream we were on, but, you know, small things. You know, after you finish this live stream with me, before having other guests on, take a 10-minute break, make it a separate stream, cut your guests up so no one can ruin your previous content, curate your content. Don't do anything to ruin your YouTube channel, but build the bridges onto things like Rumble, because you, SNEAKO, are not just a YouTuber now. You have people who want to hear what you have to say. And if you were banned from all social medias, if people heard that SNEAKO was in Central Park, New York City, preaching, you'd have 30, 40 people show up to listen to you speak from a fucking megaphone. So try to be the kind of guy that people don't watch for negative reasons. You're already not, but people are watching you because they like to hear what you have to say. So stick to that, and your crowd and your people will follow you anywhere you go. I was saying this, I could have streamed when YouTube first banned me. I could have fucking streamed live on fucking Pornhub, and my fans and followers would have just clicked on Pornhub.com and watched me. They didn't care where I was. They wanted to hear me speak. So you're doing all the right things already. Also, you're networking very well. I mean, you're friends with me. I've seen you on Fresh and Fit. You're friends with some very big guys. So if that ever were to happen to you, you've got avenues to still, you know, keep your face out there, just as I do with you. So everything's going fine. Just don't fuck up your own channel, and certainly don't do it for me.
No,
don't martyr yourself.
No.
Don't martyr yourself by showing a bunch of Andrew Tate videos and saying fuck YouTube for banning Andrew Tate. Don't martyr yourself for doing that, because we're not even mad at YouTube. And if you martyr your own channel for Andrew, Andrew's fine. Andrew's eating. Don't worry about us, you know? So yeah, you're doing
I'm trying to spread
correct.
the message. I want to keep it alive. It really, I feel like I found my full purpose now with this live streaming thing, waking people up and trying to show people the truth and entertaining at this level, and having entertainment that has some sort of meaning, that like your videos and like the stream, it's funny as fuck. Like, that's the reason that it caught my attention. That's what a lot of people don't realize, is that you can't be funny with no motivation. It has to have some purpose to the message. It can't just be clown behavior, running around, like lifting your stomach. You need something about it.
Yep,
But shout out to Fresh and Fit. And also, I'm still remembering that millionaire party. It's going to happen maybe. Well, we're getting there. We're getting there. But
Good.
Do you think that we're headed to an economic recession?
I think that we're in an economic recession. I think if you look at all the signs of everything that's happening right now, in terms of, you know, how everyone's pay is staying exactly the same, prices are spiking here in Europe because of the situation with Russia. The gas, it is six times more expensive to heat your home and to light your home in Germany than it was this time last year. If that is not a recession, I don't know what is. Now, it's all right for me. I've got money. Here in Romania, energy prices have spiked a little bit. Romania's got some of its own oil. If you're a German person on a set salary, 3,000-4,000 euros a month, and your gas price has gone up from 200 or 300 euros a month to 1,000, that's enough to bankrupt you. Like, energy prices have 6x'd, and these governments don't care about their own people. They're more happy to try to prove some point to Russia and not buy their gas. Because if anyone's listening from Germany or Western Europe, I don't know if you know what's going on exactly. Russia has not cut the gas off to Germany. Russia have not cut the gas off to any European country. What they've said is, I will sell you my gas, but because the USA are sanctioning us, please pay me in rubles. I'll sell you as much gas as you like. Germany is trying to be defiant, say, no, we're not going to cave into Russia. And the normal German man is paying 6 times more for his energy than he was last year. And the German government, it's filled with a bunch of rich pricks who are all multimillionaires raising their finger to Vladimir Putin. But the normal German person who has to fucking feed his family is getting wrecked. So yeah, I think we're in a recession right now. I mean, certainly in my lifetime, I've never seen anything this bad. And I'm 34 years old, man. I'm this is like half a human lifespan, and I've never seen anything this bad.
Worse than 2008.
So I don't. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, this is terrible. This is worse, and something bad is going on. And if people can't see it, and they're talking about, oh, do you think we're heading for a recession? I mean, the U.S. government didn't they literally change the definition of what a recession was to say that we weren't in one? I believe the definition of a recession was declining GDP per capita for 2 quarters in a row or something like that, and they've scrapped that definition and said it's 4 quarters, not 2. They've literally changed the definition of recession so no one can say that we're in one. But we literally are in one, which is why I always say to everyone, make more money. I don't care how you do it, work 2 jobs. You have to make more money in this day and age. If you're not getting rich now, and if you're not putting, if you're not hiding fucking nuts in various trees and shit, you're going to be fucked in about 5 or 6 years.
But in every recession, there's always someone capitalizing off of it. Same like in the pandemic, a lot of people got extremely rich while everybody else stayed inside and did nothing. What advice can you give? Because right now you can give some advice to, there's 22,000 people watching, you can give advice to them, and most of them, the people who don't care and who are not ambitious, will not listen. But you could probably give some game to these people, like, where do you think people are going to start making money while everybody else gets broker?
See, I don't like to give financial advice as such. I don't like to tell people, I think you should do this, I think you should do that. What I can say is, let me think of a way of phrasing this. What I can say is, whatever it is you're doing, try to make yourself less dependent on the government. Wherever you are, wherever you live. I remember everyone cheering about stimulus checks when they were locked in their house. Oh, I got $1,400 for free. There is nothing... there's nothing to be proud about when you're receiving handouts from the government, and that's what's keeping your head up above the water. If you have a business with big government contracts, expand. If you make a lot of your money because the government is paying your company or yourself, expand. Because I'm telling you, trying to rely on the government to feed you with handouts is just going to make you more and more dependent. And then when the government want to impose new rules, when they want to fuck with you a little bit more, poke you with that stick a bit more, there's nothing you could do. So try and become a bit more self-sufficient. Make money online. Make sure some of the money that you're making online is coming from other countries, whether you're selling fucking merchandise or Amazon stores or whatever it is you're doing. Try and diversify your sources of income, because if you try to lean too much on the government, and there are governments in the world right now who are doing that. Here, I'll give you some money, stay in your house. Here's another check. Don't worry. Here's enough to buy groceries. What if the government decides to stop giving you money? What are you going to eat? Nothing. So, stop your dependencies on anything. The government, fucking your family, stop being dependent on others and try and be self-sufficient.
How much of the money do you make right now is coming from the internet? Like, what percentage?
It's a hard question. It's a hard question because it depends what you mean from the internet.
I would
Depends
say
what you mean.
Crypto counts, YouTube money counts, but...
Yeah, so crypto accounts don't make me money. I'm not a crypto trader as such. I'm friends with some very good crypto traders, and I'll fuck around a little bit, but I just have crypto. Mm-hmm. I just have it, and I spend it, and I use it, and I store it. So I'm not making any money from crypto. I'd say maybe 50-50. Maybe 50% of the money I'm making are real world tangible businesses that you can visit and pay cash at, and the governments and they're licensed with governments, etc. Maybe 50% of my money comes from online sources, but it's hard to define exactly what online means and what online doesn't. But again, 50-50 is very good, because if the governments in the various countries where I run physical businesses or franchises want to shut me down, good, I've got my internet money. If the internet wants to shut me down, good, I've got the other money. Plus I got so much fucking saved up I can't spend it. So I'm good. I've insulated myself. But I've been saying the same things, and my brother has been saying the same things for maybe 5 years online. So 5 years ago, I was just about a millionaire. Just about. And we were saying all the same things 5 years ago before anybody saw any of this coming. Watch back through the old Tate Confidential episodes or the old Tate Speech episodes of my brother preaching. We were saying it for years, but while we were saying it, we weren't just sitting there with our dicks in our hands. While we were saying it, we were thinking, oh, fuck, we need more streams of income. Fuck, we need to make more money. Fuck, we need to put money here, put money there. Open businesses here, open companies here, get another passport from XYZ. So we were preaching it and we were doing it at the same time, which is why now shit's hitting the fan. Me and my brother stand before the world as I mean, I'm not going to tell you how rich I am, but I'm certainly a multi-millionaire. And we're fine. But it takes years of work. It's not going to be an overnight fix.
What's the biggest change? What's the biggest shift people can make in order to become that successful? Do you think it's the mentality? Is how open-minded or strong you are mentally the biggest factor to becoming an entrepreneur?
The ability to deal with pressure. Me and my brother always say the same thing. The ability to deal with pressure. So if you can't deal with pressure, that's your fault. Put yourself through more hard shit. Get in the boxing ring, maybe. I don't know. I've been through so much stress and so much pressure in my life that running a business and running a company, it's easy.
Right. I want to ask you that because you're a former European champion fighter. How do people not compromise their principles in the face of adversity? Which is probably what you face literally when you get in the ring with somebody else. There's adversity right in front of you, and whoever doesn't fold the most ends up winning the fight. But you could apply that logic to online, and I've seen it happen with so many of the creators that I look up to. They end up folding under the pressure. They end up selling out. They give up their principles, and they end up standing for nothing. How do you... Go ahead.
And let's not give a platform to any of these nerds. But
I'm not saying their names, yeah.
Let's not do it. But that fat guy you were talking about last time, someone was showing me some of his old stuff, and he was a no-holds-barred comedian who would, make jokes about feminists and all this kind of stuff. And again, totally folded in the face of adversity and money. I've just always, I think it's growing up in a bad neighborhood, having friends who you can't tell on, who you can't snitch on. I can't fold in the face of adversity. Even now, I can't be bought. I've been offered a lot of money to sponsor my Emergency Meeting Live podcasts by companies, and I'm not going to say their name because I wish them the best of luck making money, but companies where I don't necessarily think my audience will benefit from using their products and services. Let's say it that way. And I've turned down large sums of money because I know that the mind of a lot of young men, the minds of a lot of young men are very impressionable. And I've always been a very principled guy. For me, it's death before dishonor. I was never ever going to sell out or tell on my brother. Whether it be, if the police interviewed us or, if a girl asks questions about where he is at night. I've never been the guy to sell out or, snitch on my friends. And now that I'm up here, I'm making some very big moral decisions and people are saying, well, how are you doing that? I think I've just always been that guy. And if you're not, you need to change. If you're not, you need to just blink and cure your brain and snap out of it and try and become more principled because eventually it's going to catch up with you. If you're the kind of guy who folds in the face of adversity or, takes money he shouldn't to do something he doesn't agree with, eventually it's going to catch up with you and bite you in the ass. So I like to be able to sleep well at night. And I guess that's my answer. Yeah, kickboxing, okay, I guess. Yeah, there's adversity right in front of you. You have to hold on. But, I've lost some fights. Sometimes, you're tired. The weight cut took too much out of you. The guy's just better on the night and you get your face punched in. You get your nose broken like I have. It happens. But that teaches you lessons too.
Sonny Faz, the guy who reacts to your videos with his mom, I think you know who I'm talking about. He said, for someone who doesn't have a brother like you do, what do you recommend a guy does to make a true loyal bond like that?
I like that guy and his mom. I do. They're great people. I would say search within circles of people who you're not going to find one walking through the world at random. So I've made a lot of good friends from the War Room, which was an organization started by my brother, an organization I'm a big part of. Most of my good friends I've made recently have been from there. If you are in a situation where, even if it's an online community, even if they're fans of SNEAKO or me, making friends with people who have those interests in mind is at least a step one. It's a base level, this guy might be okay. But you don't have to have a relationship like me and my brother, which is a bit extreme. But certainly just be that kind of guy yourself. Be the kind of moral person yourself who's not going to tell on your friends, not going to snitch, not going to cause problems for your friends, always going to be, you know, always going to have their back in a fight, always going to have their back in an argument. If you are that kind of guy, you'll be surprised. You'll attract that type of people, because you'll be able to look into someone's eyes and see if they share the same morals as you. You will be able to tell when you look at somebody in the face. And I can look at somebody in the face and say, you know what? That guy would tell on me if we got arrested for something. That guy would try and fuck my girl if he got half a chance. I can see it because I'm the real deal. You can't fake the real deal.
Why did Hustlers University / War Room succeed when 99% of courses don't? And what have you learned from building that business? I want to expand on that question. I have started my course, The Creativity Kit, and it's doing well. We have 1,000 members and we just went public. A lot of people are finding that type of relationship online now because, as you talked about earlier, they're trying to separate any type of conversation. You're supposed to stay inside. You're told to be scared. Don't interact with people. Stand 6 feet apart. They're trying to get rid of regular relationships. But a lot of people are finding it in Discord communities and finding it on like people online. You met my producer earlier. I met him from a Omegle. I was doing a live stream a year ago and he popped up on Omegle. And since then, he's like the person I talk to the most in the world. So I think a lot of people find it online. You're a little bit older. Do you think that it's possible for people to find those types of relationships in communities like Hustle University and War Room? And do you think that's why it succeeds?
I think it absolutely is. And I think with running any kind of online community, the key to making it successful is not to put money or profit first. That certainly was not the model for the War Room. A lot of people joined the War Room about 3 years after. About 3 years ago. About a few months after it started, it was taking off at about 500-600 active members. My brother and myself, and a lot of people were still paying monthly for the War Room. We kicked half the members out. We looked at everyone. Everyone filled in questionnaires and CVs, and we looked at everyone's profile. We spent about 12 hours sitting in a room together, and we decided to kick out half the people because we cared more about the strength and the integrity of the organization than making our little monthly subscription fee. And that's why a lot of these organizations fail, because they're happy to just have people sitting in there talking shit, bringing the vibe of the group down and the power of the group down so they can make an extra, $100 a month. With Hustlers University, that succeeded because of the War Room. What you're doing, the best advice I can give you is just deliver a great product. Just deliver a great product, because there was no way without the War Room I was going to find 18 millionaires who were going to essentially work and teach and train people and give their time away for a business that only had like 10 people inside of it and wasn't making any money. I had millionaires working for $300 a month at the beginning. So because of the War Room, I was able to deliver, a very, very good product. And I think that's the reason it's working. I think that's the reason it stays.
Why do you think 99% of courses don't last, though? They're just not a good product?
No, they're not a good product at all.
Okay.
They're not a good product at all. Most courses, courses get pirated and courses, lose their, people sell them on the internet for cheap. And, especially when you're just selling videos and PDFs and things like that. But online communities, they suck because, one, the leaders suck. So I'm not even going to mention any of them because I don't want anyone doing any research into them. But there are online communities that exist where the leaders are just like pussies, just pussies and losers, and nobody wants to live their life. Nobody wants to be like them. Me and my brother called them the what's the word we use? The goof troop. Like when everyone's like, oh yeah, join my online community. It's the goof troop, bro. The leader's a nerd. He's fucking unaspirational in every way. He's got no money. So that when you're joining the leadership, you're helping him to pay his fucking rent. It's stupid. So a lot of online communities fail because of lack of leadership, and the quality of the people inside just suck. Me and my brother attract the very best minds and the very best people. We have a very high price point. We could certainly make a lot more money if the price point of the War Room was, $1,000. We'd have so many more people signing up. But if you can't make $5,000 and you don't have enough faith in me and Andrew to put that kind of money in, and if you're incapable of spending that much, maybe you're not ready for the War Room yet. Join HU2. But a lot of these communities suck, man.
You said earlier, you kind of answered my question. You said that you believe in death before dishonor. How far would that go? How far would you go with would you die for respect? For some, there are some levels of respect you die for. I think that every man has their limit. I could get super graphic and super ice cold and tell you what some of those examples were if I could think of one.
But there are things that I'd rather die than have happen. And you know, so that means with the utmost of my capability and my manhood, I will prevent those things from happening as much as I can, even if it means me dying. I mean, everyone knows I've got a baby daughter. Someone said I'm going to take her away, or I'll kill you. You know, I'd certainly, but it wouldn't be a binary choice, but it would certainly be in my mind thinking, I've got to fight these 5 men and try and kill them because they're in my house. Otherwise, they're going to take my daughter away. Yeah, sure, I'd die in that situation with a big smile on my face as long as I could prevent that from happening. So I think that every man has his lines that he doesn't cross. And one of those for me is don't fuck with my brother. Don't fuck with my brother, because if you fuck with him, you're fucking with me too. Who else in the world does he have but me that he can trust on the same level? So if 10 guys with knives pull knives on my brother, then fuck it, we're both dying. But I'm gonna hurt someone before I go. So yeah, I think there are lines in the sand that, you know, people simply can't cross with me. And I think every man could truthfully say the same thing if he's a man of character.
This you bringing up your baby daughter reminded me of a question somebody asked me recently in a debate. I was debating like a liberal, blue pill, I trust the government type person, and they asked me, would you be okay with your daughter dating somebody like the Tate brothers? And I paused for a while, and I was like, yeah. But then I thought back, and I'm thinking back. I can't answer the question because I'm not a father, but would you prefer that your daughter ends up with a man who is monogamous, or would you be okay with your daughter ending up with the playboy?
Well, it all depends on what you mean end up with. There are certain women I've been in my life. There are certain women I've been with in my life where I wouldn't want my daughter to be in their position, you know? We're just meeting casually. I take them out to dinner. We have a nice time, but I don't really treat them very seriously. But there have been women in my life who I've been head over heels in love with. And I've had other women on the side at certain times like this, I guess. You know, I'm over the Playboy shit now. But certainly, if I met a boyfriend of one of my daughters somewhere in the future in 16, 17 years, and he was like me, I would just say, look, don't make her cry. As long as she's as long as she's your main chick and she's your real girlfriend, and you haven't got some other main chick behind her back and she's just something on the side, I'd be more than happy for my daughter to date someone like me. In fact, I'd fucking prefer it, because most guys who aren't like me have something else wrong with them. I mean, you have to understand, 90% of men in the world are broken people. I wouldn't want my daughter with some nerd who's completely monogamous. Yeah, no, I don't like anyone but your daughter. He'd probably get caught with fucking all sorts of weird porn on his computer and shit. That's not the guy I want dating my daughter. The fuck? Can't defend her? Isn't a G? Can't show her a good life? Can't drive her around nice places and take her to cool restaurants and nice vacations? Fuck those people. No, more than happy for my daughter to date someone like me, as long as he's serious about her.
One thing I think that you've exposed and really opened my eyes to is how everybody accusing you of trafficking and just straight up lying every single day and trying to get you canceled for the lies that everybody in this chat has heard, is that probably it's a response to something else. Probably they got some dirt on them and they're just trying to put it on someone else because they feel a sense of guilt for doing what they did. And so they want to accuse somebody else so that they get people on their good side. Like, ladies, this one's for you.
And that's all coming out now, but it's like, you know, I'm exposing Andrew Tate. I can't possibly be some sort of sexual predator. I'm exposing Andrew Tate for consensually spanking his girlfriend who he was with for years and made 3 subsequent videos saying it was just play. You know, I'm exposing him. I can't be a bad guy. Yeah, I think that's a very big, it's a very big part of why people do this. There's a very famous story. You're probably too young to remember it. And I'm not belittling you by saying that, by the way. You are actually just too young to remember it. But it was in the United States. It was a guy named the Reverend Ted Haggard. Look him up. Ted Haggard was an evangelical Christian preacher. And Ted Haggard spent all of his time doing these huge seminars. He was friends with the President of the United States at the time, George W. Bush. And he would do these huge seminars talking about how homosexuality is wrong, how being gay is evil, how they're going to burn in hellfire. And
he was called
the male prostitute who he used to hook up with and take drugs with exposed him. And he wrote a book called I Had to Say Something. So he's just going around, you know, it's people who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones, bro. And I've got no skeletons in my closet. Believe me, as famous as me and Andrew have just become and as fast as our blow up was, if there were any skeletons in our closet,
they came out. Everybody would know about it. Yeah.
They'd be out. People would know all the dirt on me. And there just isn't any. I'm exactly who I say I am. So, yeah.
So one piece of advice One piece of advice I think I realized seeing everybody accuse and just all the attacks on you is for the chat to really pay attention to who's accusing and who's trying to bring someone else down with accusations like that, because almost always is them. Almost always.
When you point the finger at someone else, 3 point back at you. You ever heard that?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't necessarily want to point the finger at anyone and tell anyone that they're doing something. You know why? Because the truth is, I don't know people. When people say, like, oh, what do you think about R. Kelly doing this or Michael Jackson doing that? People have all these, questions about various things, or Harvey Weinstein. My answer is always the same. I don't fucking know R. Kelly. I don't know Harvey Weinstein. Don't know Michael Jackson. Never met the motherfuckers in my life. Why would I sit here and think, oh, I think they did, I think they didn't? Try and weigh up the evidence where it's a bunch of testimony. I don't give a shit. I live my own life and make sure I'm innocent of crimes. I don't give a fuck what Harvey Weinstein was up to or R. Kelly. I don't give a fuck what they were up to. So I don't go around pointing the finger at people I don't know, because that's just dumb. If I was very close friends with somebody at one point and I found out they were doing some real fucked up shit, and I came to the defense of the people accusing and said, yeah, this guy's a fucked up person, you better believe I know what I'm talking about. So, but yeah, the stuff that's coming out about some of the people that accused me, talking to girls as young as 13, that's just wrong. That's just bad. I mean, like, Andrew Tate consensually spanking a girl with a felt belt. The belt was made out of a material, by the way. And the girl coming out 3 times over the course of 6 years for 3 different videos, saying, yeah, that was just play. We like doing it. There are videos of her saying, do it harder next time. But the guy accusing was talking to a 13-year-old girl who eventually he had sex with when she was 19, and then he ghosted her. In fact, I've got something to say about that. To any of his fans, I'm going to mention him very briefly because a lot of his fans have come forward to his defense and said, well, having sex with a 19-year-old isn't illegal. Now, let me tell you something. One, grooming a 13-year-old is illegal. Talking sexual things to a 13-year-old so she wants to have sex with you is illegal. No matter how long you wait, those messages are a crime. But even if, and this is a lesson to you, SNEAKO, because you're a young man and lots of young men watch you. Even if you're a man in your late 20s or 30s, I don't know how old Daz Black is, I think he's 30-something, and you decide to have sex with a 19-year-old, let me tell you something, you have a duty. It's not illegal to have sex with 19-year-olds, but you have a duty to not be a fucking jerk. He's talking about danger to women, even if he met this girl when she was 19. He met her, fucked her, she was a big fan of his, and he fucking ghosted her and left her in the lurch. Let me tell you something. Young women, just like young men, are impressionable people, and they're trying to learn how to navigate life. They're trying to learn how to navigate the sexual battlefield and the dating market, etc. And if you have someone who's a big fan of you, who's 18, 19, 20, 21, and she's young and impressionable, and this may be one of her first dating experiences or one of her first sexual experiences, you have no fucking right, legal or not, to fucking fuck her and ghost the bitch and leave that stain on her opinion of men and leave that stain on what she expects from the dating world. You can't do that. That's just not okay. Be polite. Take her out for a nice dinner. I don't know. Fucking just be nice to her, for fuck's sake. Yeah, be a gentleman about it. And believe me, I know if you take women out and you treat them nicely and you make love with them and you're safe about it and you're a gentleman and you say, yeah, maybe I'll see you next week and you talk to them a bit and you're still polite, no woman's mad at you for showing her a great weekend. That's not the way women are. But when you get what you want, when she opens herself to you sexually and you are selfish enough to just block the bitch out of nowhere, you're a fucking piece of shit. You're a piece of shit. I don't care if it's legal or not. If you're dating young women, you better be fucking careful. Because if I meet young men, 18, 19, 20, they're hanging around me smoking cigars, I'll say shit like, whoa, don't be smoking yet, maybe. You're too young. I didn't have my first cigar till I was 28. If they get blackout drunk, I'll say, fucking control yourself when you're drinking alcohol. You have to be a good impression on the younger people. So when you're dating younger women, like this guy obviously did, I mean, messaging her at 13 was a crime, of course. But, even if you slept with a girl who's 19 years of age, you have to look at it as though you're exploring a new wilderness for the first time. The people who are exploring the Amazon rainforest for the first time, or the first people who discovered the fucking Antarctic. You don't dump oil all over it and cut the fucking forest down and fuck it up, do you? No, because other people are going to come there after you, and you want it to be a nice, beautiful, healthy environment. So you shouldn't fuck with people in that way.
And now he fucked her up for probably a long time. She's going to have trust issues. She's traumatized because of him. And
I'm in contact with that girl. I'm in contact with her.
How's she doing?
And she's okay. But yeah, he's left a lot of scars. And that's not a way to treat people. You want to talk about a danger to women. You know, even if the messaging underage girls shit wasn't real, even if it was just he liked to date 18, 19, 20-year-old women, whatever. But you want to talk about danger to women? That's still dangerous behavior.
I'm realizing now, and this sounds like a minor question, but I think it could apply to a lot of people watching. I am dealing with all the same haters that you have. They hate me too, as subsequent, and they kind of just need someone else to hate now. And now that you guys are banned, they're all coming after me. Same thing, that the pedophile dude making comments about me. I accidentally, whatever. It wasn't as big of a back and forth, but I'm trying to realign my message and trying to like realign even my mentality when it comes to addressing the haters, because every single day there's a new video, every single day, and I'm realizing what it must have been like for you guys. And the difference is, like, I'm an online guy, I'm a YouTuber, this is my bread and butter, so I can't help but watch it. I can't help but be engaged with it. You guys would just laugh it off and you would dissect it pretty quickly, and I'm trying to realign my mentality with it and address or fight hate with love, and realize why a lot of these people are upset. Usually they're feminists, or they're weak-looking men, they're overweight, and every single person who hates me, is just, you can just kind of look at them and understand why. So I'm trying to tell people like that like we can go to the gym together, like I could talk to you if you need some help, and I don't even want to. But what do you think is the best way to engage with those types of people? And for a lot of people watching, like they probably engage in like online YouTube comment debates, Twitter wars, Discord wars. These people constantly deal with hate on a smaller level. What advice do you have for people who are chronically online?
Jesus. You know, first and foremost, don't let any, and this is a mistake that my brother and myself made, don't let any bullshit rumors about you spiral out of control. Because you say we laughed it off. Yeah, we laughed it off. But it got big enough for YouTube to listen and to ban me. You know, don't let rumors about you spiral out of control. So don't let anyone lie about you. Don't let anyone lie about you. If someone says something true about you, you know, feel free to address it. But absolutely make sure you nip the lies in the bud. And don't let people just openly lie about you and disrespect you. Because I thought the truth will prevail. But that's not the nature of the internet. Unfortunately, the truth does not prevail. Whoever's loudest and more adamant at spreading the message is going to prevail. And my haters were much louder than me. Besides that, because that was the one mistake that myself and my brother made.
Well, how do you think you could have fixed that? How could you have avoided? I thought you did everything you could have done to try to. You talked about it so much, I was getting tired of it.
Yeah, you know what? I know, but there are things that I should have done earlier. Things like sending these fat dudes like cease and desist letters. Because you could say you don't like Andrew, you could say you don't like me, you're free to talk about me. You absolutely are, but you're not allowed to sit on your YouTube channel and say, this guy is a convicted murderer, this guy is a convicted rapist, this guy is a convicted fucking shoplifter. That's just illegal, one, because it's defamation. And I should have just had my lawyer send him a letter earlier saying, shut the fuck up. Stop saying things that aren't true. You want to talk about Andrew and Tristan Tate, insult their fucking haircuts, insult the way they dress, insult something else about them, insult the way they live their lives. But don't fucking sit there and say things that are straight up false. So, you know, I should have lawyered up sooner and got these people to shut the fuck up, but I didn't. Besides that, there's no way of, you know, trying to fight hate with love, because I've reached out. I've said, look, guys, you know, I'll take you to the gym, I'll coach you, I'll help you. You're upset. I've seen the videos talking about how your penis doesn't work and how you'd like to meet women, but you can't. I'll happily talk to you and go through some of your problems with you and explain to you how to live a life that's obviously more like the life that you want to live, but they don't reach out. They don't reach out because these people are so filled with hate, you cannot beat them with love. Just address the issues towards you, make sure no one's lying about you, and fucking ignore them.
Well, they're lying about me now. The same people that are lying about you, they're starting to lie about me. Ethan Decline and his wife, and the other one, Lasanabi. You know what I'm talking about. I don't like to say their names. You know, so they're starting to lie about me too. But the difference is they're lying to make me seem weaker, but they were lying on your name to try to make you seem like you were villains. But me, I think I won't get banned for those lies because they'll just try to bring me down. They were trying to make you seem like terrible people, where it's me like, oh, they're trying to laugh it off. So
well, it's okay, because their days of talking shit about people, and I'm not going to give any details away, but their days of talking shit about people are numbered. So they're going to learn a very expensive and valuable lesson about lying about people on the internet. So they're going to not make such a habit of it coming very soon. And that's all I can say.
That's good. I think that was probably the decision you should have made earlier, and you could see it now that they can tweet the Tate brothers are violent murderers, and it goes like 300,000 likes. It goes on the trending page. Twitter promotes it. Everybody shares it. It's woken me up how you can just say things and you could start a lie, and if so many people repeat it, it almost becomes true. To this day, it's like if enough people believe in one thing, in a sense, it's real.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is this. The truth is, weak, cowardly men like this, I can tell you how you could prove that they know they're lying. Weak, cowardly men like this, if me and my brother were Eastern European human trafficking gangsters and assassins who murder people and kidnap people and can do damage to people in the real world, and we don't give a fuck about the consequences, and we've got the politicians and the law and the police all paid for in our back pockets and we're untouchable. If they really believed this, as weak, fat cowards, they wouldn't talk shit about me. Think about it. Who in the world talks shit about that guy? They know it's false, and they're doing it for clicks. Because if I were that person, I would be a person not to be slandered and not to be spoken about in a very bad way. But what they don't know is this. I am none of the things they accuse me of. But believe me, I am that guy not to be slandered and not to be fucking talked about. And they're all going to find that out. And that's not, don't take SNEAKO's channel down. That's through legal, perfectly legal methods and methodologies. I'm not making any violent threats here, because that's not who I am. But if I was that type of guy that they think I was, why would they talk shit about me? Mm-hmm. If you met a guy on the street and someone said, oh yeah, this guy's a fucking killer, he's been in and out of jail 10 times, he fucking slashed a man's throat for looking at him wrong, would you go up to him and say, I think you're a piece of shit? No, you'd shut your fucking mouth. I'd shut my fucking mouth. So you can tell that they're lying, because these guys are fat cowards who you could easily find out where these people lived if you wanted to. Why would you talk that way about Eastern European fucking assassins and gangsters and killers? You wouldn't. You wouldn't. So fuck these people. That's enough. We've given them enough of a platform.
Yeah, you're giving up energy. What do you think? Let me switch up the topic, because I want to follow that. I want to believe that you could fight hate with love, and I've been talking about God more on my stream, and I think it's better for people to follow that. But I'm not sure what it is. I haven't fully decided what religion I want to join. If I do, I have a lot of a huge Christian and Muslim audience. But what do you think God is?
See, that is a very tricky question for me. That is a very tricky question for me. I initially became, so my religious story is as follows. I was a young kid. I moved to England at 8 years old. I came from Indiana. All of because I'm mixed race, and African Americans are overwhelmingly Christian. I used to go to those churches with the big fat black mamas clapping and singing and shit. Hallelujah. I was the whitest man, and I was the whitest little boy in those churches when I was a kid. And I wasn't educated on religion that much. When I was 8 years old, I believed that, like a lot of people in isolated parts of the world do, that before the internet especially, that everyone believed in God and everyone knew the story of Jesus and everyone was the same religion. I had no concept of what a Muslim was. I had no concept of what an atheist was. And when I was thrown into school in the United Kingdom, I was going to school with Sikhs, Muslims, Hindus, etc. And I was like, whoa, these people believe in a God that's not God, the real one? That's fucked up. So as a young kid, I read the Bible, I read the Quran, I read the Guru Granth Sahib, the Sikh holy book. And I used to engage in debates with the Muslim kid. I remember his name was Waqas. Shout out to Waqas if you're watching this. And I used to engage in debates. I'd tell him why his religion was wrong and why mine was true. And he'd tell me why his religion was true and mine was wrong. And we'd have these debates in school. And I eventually found myself slipping into atheism. I became an atheist at maybe 12, 13 years old.
Me too.
I no longer cared for religion. And I believed that, religion wasn't for me. And, you don't need God in your life to live a very happy life. Until I started to look around at what other atheists were doing. It's imagine joining a team of people, essentially, and looking around at your teammates, and you see people bragging about how many abortions they have, people with fucking purple hair talking about how being a minor attracted person, or as I like to call them, a pedophile, is a sexual orientation. And I was looking around at how atheists were behaving, and I thought, whoa. Maybe I've missed a trick. Maybe there was something to this God shit that I dismissed as a young boy. And I did further research. And I don't believe that any holy book that I've read in the world, I'm not trying to offend Christians, Muslims, Jews, Sikhs, I don't believe any holy book that I've read in the world is perfect. I believe that they're all man's interpretation of the thoughts of God, certainly. And I'm an Orthodox Christian now because I live in an Orthodox Christian country. This was the religion that was most accessible to me. It was it's where the churches are. It's where the priests are and the pastors are. I made a bunch of friends within the Orthodox Christian church. I spend a lot of time in Dubai. I have a massive respect for Islam. I look at the way that their daughters behave, the way that they run their families. The same with Orthodox Christianity, the way their daughters behave, the way they run their families. I'm like, there's something to this. This is so much better than atheism. Yeah. I can't advise you on religious matters because I'm not a religious scholar.
This is not a religious question, Ed. I don't mean to cut you off.
What do I think about it? Yeah.
I don't think it's a religious question. I think it's more of a philosophical question because my journey to finding God was pretty much exactly like yours. I grew up Christian and then I became an atheist because I was a big debater kid and I was like, why is the priest going to tell me all this stuff? He has no life experience. And then the same thing, I just left New York City, but New York City is a very godless place. People running around with purple hair, like literally doing dances for how many abortions they've had. And they're changing their gender. The Pride Month too is like one of the biggest sins. If you think about it, Pride is one of the biggest sins. They have a whole month to celebrate it. So there's all this godless behavior, and you're seeing how it's changed. And so I would say my journey to finding God is the same as yours. I look at religious people, and I'm like, there's something to this. But I'm conflicted because I think of something like God, and I think of how religions call it like God is the Father. And we're supposed to fear God. And even in my head, like the fact that God has a gender makes no sense to me. I think of it as a spiritual thing. So I'm wondering what you define God. I think God is everything good in the world. God is love. God is the connection between people. Is that what you think too?
God is powerful. And I know that a lot of people watching this will be atheists. So I don't want to tell anyone what to believe in. And I don't really want to talk about my own personal religious convictions that much. So let me just give a message to any atheists out there, or let me give you a message to my previous atheist self. I would certainly say this. God is powerful. God is absolutely and ultimately powerful. And whether he is real or not, before you start looking into what God is and trying to find God, look at the power of God. Look at how God influences societies, influences people, creates better people. God's power is certainly real within all of us, if you let it in. And I don't want to talk about my own personal religious convictions too much, but God is powerful and God very much is real, whether you want to believe in him or not, because I've seen it.
It's probably
that's all I can tell you.
The best way to raise a child is with some sort of religious morals. But I just personally ask you that if you want to talk about something else. But I just personally ask about that because that's the same reason that I try to. I just see all the good that it does, and I acknowledge that as the right thing to follow. But I still struggle trying to find some sense of what is this really? What is God? But I understand.
Yeah, it's a tricky question. For me, I'm a Christian. I have a massive Muslim fan base, and I have a lot of young Muslim kids who follow me and ask me for advice, etc. And what I always say to them is this, and I mean this with all of my heart. I know Muslim religious scholars, and I am not one. I respect Islam massively. But if you want to learn about Islam, or if you want to follow Islam, I am not your hero because I'm not actually a Muslim. I respect the fuck out of you. Let me handle the people who dislike Islam. Let me talk to the Christians and the Jews and the atheists who dislike Islam and talk them round. If you want information on your own religion and people to follow, there are millions, thousands, hundreds of thousands of Islamic scholars who know much more than me, who can educate you on your religion much better than me. I'm a Christian, I follow Christianity, and I'd rather people ask me about that. But, I love Islam, I love Christianity, and it's, atheism sucks, atheism's for nerds.
Yeah, I don't want to be an atheist nerd anymore, because that's when I feel I had no purpose, had no direction in life. And this has given me more purpose and more... I feel more alive believing in God and believing in good.
Yeah, I agree.
So follow Tate Speech on Rumble. Follow you on Getter. What's your name on Getter?
Talisman Tate.
Talisman
I'm still
Tate.
there on Instagram. I'm still there on Instagram for now, but we'll see how long that lasts. I promoted this stream on Instagram, so.
Hey, thanks for the shout out again. I gained it's crazy how much the impact you have. I gained 6,000 followers in 10 minutes from your little shout out. That's absolutely. The pull you guys have even after the cancellation is very evident, and I think they're scared. I think the big tech executives are starting to realize that they can't cancel the fan base, and it's inspiring. Especially,
they're gonna have to do something because now they can't cancel anyone. It was such a high profile cancellation, and it was so big and so full force that now can they cancel anybody? If anyone on YouTube gets off, everyone's gonna know. All the young men of the world are gonna be like, okay, I can find that guy on Rumble. Okay, I can find that guy on Getter. That's what they're gonna now know. So we've opened up the floodgates. There's a crack in their armor, and we found it. So yeah, everything's going to plan. Everything's going very, very well.
You don't seem worried at all, and it's inspirational, especially because sometimes I feel stressed from a lot of stuff. It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of haters. It's a lot of dealing with the YouTube bullshit, the social getting suspended on Twitter. But seeing how you have just smoking your cigar, you literally, I could see it. Like it's not an act at all. You really genuinely don't give a fuck. And I'm gonna get to that point. And I'm gonna hold you to that millionaire party.
I told you, make $1 million in 1 year, I'm gonna throw you a party. It's gonna be off the fucking chain. You've seen little bits of Tate Confidential. You saw the footage from the yacht last week.
Yeah.
I know how to throw a party. Believe me.
I'll be there. And anything you want to plug? Anything else you want to say before I let you go?
No, not really. Not really. If there's any good super chats, I'm happy to stick around and answer a few questions.
Yeah,
but,
I do. There are some good super chats.
I set the whole night aside, so if there's any super chats, I would just say yeah.
Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Fuck it.
Fair enough. We'll do some super chats, but yeah, let me do my plugs before I go. Anyway, I'm gonna say, look, don't just go to Rumble to find me. Check out Rumble as a website. Don't just go to Getter to find me. Check out Getter as a website, because a lot of the people who were banned and silenced, under the radar, it wasn't so high profile, it wasn't such a big story in the news. People who you need to hear from, people whose opinions that you perhaps need to hear, whether they be true or false, they are on platforms like Rumble. They are on platforms like Getter. So check it out. And if you're a content creator and you feel like you ever want to talk anything about, I don't know, gender dynamics or politics or something that, the big wigs that the big social media companies might hate, make yourself an account. Start streaming there. I'll help you out. I'll promote you if your content's good enough. But I won't promote you unless you're my friend if it's on YouTube. Sorry. But they're gonna. I don't know. I think they're coming around.
Okay. Bag Chaser Antonio says, SNEAKO, please ask Tristan this question. Once you escape the Matrix, make your couple million, what would be the best thing to do with the wealth besides retiring your parents? And how can you build a network of people who make money too?
I think money attracts money. Just start doing what me and Andrew call rich people shit. And we came up with this term about 3 to 4 years ago when we started doing things that we weren't necessarily interested in just to mix with other rich people. It's a famous story that we bought the Bugatti just so we could go to the Bugatti owners' meetings, because the average Bugatti owner is richer than I am. So I now get to hang around with billionaires because they're all owners of a certain type of car. Maybe you don't have to take it that far. Maybe you've done quite well in your life and you have a Ferrari secondhand, cost you $150,000. If you live in the United States or Europe, find the local Ferrari owners club. Find out where they're having their meetings. You'll turn up there. It will be 75% total nerds, like every group of people is. But 25% of the people there are probably worth talking to. People you can make friends with. People you can do business dealings with. Again, on the internet, there are organizations like the War Room, for example, that are pre-existing networks you can plug yourself into. You can make a big splash in the War Room if you're an important guy with some good advice or something important to say. So what I would say is people are always looking for this next step. And I know that because they ask me. They said, okay, all right, what's next? And years ago, I used to say, well, I want to do this. All right, what's next after that? Well, then I want to do this. All right, what's next after that? And now people are saying, oh, what's next? And I'm like, oh, well, I want to make Rumble and stuff some very big platforms. I want to take on the social media giants, maintain my online presence. All right, what's next? What's next? What's next? There doesn't have to be a what's next. And I'll tell you why in a very morbid way. The what's next, eventually, if you asked what's next enough times to anybody, is, and then you die. That's it. That's going to be the eventual what's next. So while you're doing all of this, don't forget to have fun and don't forget to fucking enjoy yourself. Life isn't some big battle or some big struggle to reach certain marks and reach certain waypoints, and then it's the next one, then it's the next one. Then you're 65 years old and your penis doesn't work anymore. Don't be that guy. Make sure that whatever you're doing, stay focused, stay purposed, but make sure you're fucking enjoying yourself at the same time, because you only get one time around this. Like when I first got banned, SNEAKO, he said, what am I doing? I said, well, I got this $250,000 a week yacht booked in Croatia. I can go chill and party with some girls I know. Like, why did I do that? Cool, I made a few Rumble promotional videos while I was there, but I was just having fun. Never forget to enjoy your life. Even when I don't care what you're doing. I don't care if you're working a 9 to 5. Don't forget to have fun with your friends while you're at work, because shit, man, life's short sometimes, and it's a lot shorter than a lot of people know. There are people fucking watching this out of the 25,000 people who are going to die next fucking year. So, don't forget to have fun. That's my advice. Don't look at life as this progressive step of what's next in such an aggressive way. Chase your goals, but fucking enjoy yourself
and
too.
have fun.
Yeah.
That's one thing I noticed and that I've heard you talk about is that sometimes you and Andrew will look back and reminisce about the days where you were broke, where you were going to a bar and trying to pick up a girl so you had a place to sleep at.
Yeah.
Is that the most fun? Or do you prefer your life now? Do you miss that sense of not knowing what's next?
Yeah, I miss things about the way I used to live, but back then I dreamt of the things that I have now. So there's always pluses and minuses with any life you live, but I can't think of a single period in my life, whether it be having nowhere to sleep to, having, how many houses do I have now? 6, 7, I don't know.
How do you forget how many houses you have? Anyway.
A wise man once told me that if you know what you've got, then you haven't got much. So ask me exactly what's in my bank. Ask me exactly how much my crypto's worth.
You don't know.
Ask me exactly what my companies are worth. I'm going to have to sit down for an hour with a fucking calculator. So, no, I don't know exactly what I've got. It takes time to work this stuff out. But there's not been a single time in my life where I haven't been having fun and I haven't enjoyed myself. And a part of that is having good friends. Not just my brother. I'm talking about my brother, but there are people, I've got friends who I've known for 15, 16 years, who I still chill with today, who I've known from back in the day, and we've always had a great time together. So, yeah, enjoy it wherever you are. I missed certain things about, my past, but I couldn't have dreamt of the present that I'm living in, and I'm looking forward to the future, too. I think 39-year-old Tristan Tate is going to be living a fucking amazing life. I may well be a billionaire by then. That will be funny.
Scott asked when you're coming back on Fresh and Fit, if you're going to come back to... You have talked about how you don't want to come back to America.
Well, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to let the world in on a little bit of a secret. The next Fresh and Fit broadcast that you're going to see me on is going to be made relatively soon, and it's going to have this background. Fresh and Fit right here in the emergency meeting studio. That's what's next in the works. So, shout out to Fresh and Fit. I never forget my guys. They certainly, helped give me a kick in the YouTube ratings back when I was up and coming. They're really great guys. And the next time I see them, you're going to see them right here talking to me, probably on their channel, on the Fresh and Fit podcast, but with this studio background. So that's going to be very interesting.
I'm excited for that. Damn, I wish I got that invite. Anyway, hi, Tristan. I'm a supporter of the message, but I'm trying to understand on how you and Andrew profit on weak men and gambling, but you're against it. I've been talking about this a lot recently because a lot of the people that hate on you and a lot of people that were glad you're banned, they actively promote OnlyFans and they actively promote and the gambling, and they have like alcoholic products. The stuff that they're encouraging men to buy just makes them weaker. So
well keep in mind, I do own casinos. Everyone knows I own casinos. I understand that with any market, I could open a corner store, I could open a restaurant, and that restaurant may sell vodka, just like I open my casinos. I don't actually advocate for gambling. I don't think you can scroll through any of my content and find a clip of me saying, hey, this is Tristan Tate, I'd like you to visit your nearest casino and gamble as much as you can because gambling's a wonderful idea. Go for it. I've never done that in my life. So the fact that I am a big believer in personal responsibility and personal accountability. I tell young men not to drink too much, not to smoke too much. I'm drinking right now. Right now, as we speak, I'm drinking and smoking on this podcast. But I tell young men, if you're going to have vices, if you're going to drink, if you're going to smoke, if you're going to gamble, make sure you do it in a very healthy way. Make sure you earn it. Make sure you do your push-ups. Make sure you do your workouts. So you never hear me saying drinking's a great idea, smoking's a great idea, gambling's a great idea. So I actually disagree with the question. To say that I promote these things. I just understand that everyone is ultimately responsible for themselves. So if I own a casino, 9 times out of 10, people come into the casino with a very healthy attitude. I go to casinos with a very healthy attitude. I take an amount of money I'm happy to lose. I gamble, I might win, I might lose. I laugh, I leave the casino, I had a great time, I had a few drinks, I spoke to a few girls. That's fine. There's always going to be degenerates in the world. There's always going to be people who can't control themselves. And it is not the job of big business or the people who control the industries or the companies to police these people's personal irresponsibility. You could run any restaurant. You could run a small family diner that serves beer. And you could have a man come into that diner, drink 20 beers, stumble home and beat the shit out of his wife and kids. That is not your fault for running a diner. That is not your fault at all. And guess what? If you close your diner, that guy's going to go somewhere else and buy his fucking beer. If I close my casinos, you think that's going to do anything to help a gambling addict who may be addicted to my little location because it's close to his house? He's going to go online gambling. He's going to go somewhere else. I purport personal responsibility beyond everything else. So no, I don't actually promote gambling. I run casinos.
Yeah,
I smoke right here on the podcast. If you're watching this, don't smoke. If you're going to smoke cigars, make sure you've done enough hard work and you've done your cardiovascular fitness training and you've done your weights and you're not a big fat slob, and enjoy a cigar while you're having a conversation with your friend. Fine. But I won't sit here and tell young men that they need to smoke. I didn't smoke my first cigar until I was older than you. So the question's badly framed.
Do you think that YouTubers and people with influence should have a responsibility about what they promote and what they don't promote? Because the difference is that you have casinos, but you're not on Tate Speech and you're not on Rumble saying, go to my casino. It's just a side venture. And so the difference is, I think that a lot of the YouTubers that are criticized, they know they have a young, impressionable audience, and then they go ahead and sell them porn, and that which they actively know makes them weaker. So do you think there's a difference?
Well, there is a massive difference, because I actually tell young men, don't smoke, don't drink, don't gamble, don't watch porn. That's one of the massive ones that I have. So there's a huge difference between me and them, and I would not take money to advertise anything that I think could be bad for people. A massive example that I'm going to give out there right now is, do you know how many crypto coins have been made in our image? Top G coin, Talisman coin, Cobra Tate coin, and these people are running these coins. But I understand that there's no backbone behind these cryptocurrencies. And they've asked me for endorsements. They said, look, half the money we raise, I'll transfer to you. If I promoted a coin, I could get $100 million by telling young men to buy into a crypto coin, because young men believe in me. But my integrity is unquestionable, and it is not for sale. I'm not going to back a coin. As a multi-millionaire, where a young man who believes in me may put in $100 and take 99 out. That young man losing a single one of his dollars because he believed in what Tristan Tate told him is not acceptable for me. I could have jumped on any of these coins. I could have jumped on any of these NFT projects. I could have become the face of them. They're raising tens of thousands of dollars with my name and my image. And what do? I sue them. I send them cease and desist letters. I put it on my Instagram and say, these are all scams. Don't fucking buy into them. So yeah, I have integrity like no one else. And I will announce this very soon. An NFT project is coming. It's coming, but the NFTs are going to be free. Free. I'm not going to explain exactly how it's going to work, but limited edition NFTs that are sanctioned by me and Andrew are coming out, and they're going to be free. I'm making zero money from people buying these NFTs. It's just a fun project for collectors and people who like NFTs. But they're going to be free because I'm not going to sell anything for a premium price that may go down in value. I respect everyone who listens to me too much than to make a single dollar trying to fucking scam them. So yeah, some of these YouTubers, some of these streamers, etc. Yeah, it's a quick buck, but I don't think they have the backbone that I do.
Mm. I thought you were already selling NFTs or having NFTs bundled up with the Top G merch.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Top G merch, you're going to get a free NFT that goes along. That's what okay, so you know already. Yeah, if you buy a limited edition Top G t-shirt, or an Aikido t-shirt, or whatever kind of merchandise I'm selling, a free NFT is going to come along with that. So you have something that won't get worn down, won't get destroyed. It may go up in value. You may be able to sell it and trade it for other people who want to collect the Tate NFTs. But I've taken zero of your money for the physical NFT. And that's the only way that I can morally run a project like that. I'm not going to take thousands of dollars of Ethereum off some young kids and take a savings for a little picture of me. No. They have to be free.
People ask what your stance on Judaism is, because you talk a lot about Islam and Christianity, but what's your opinion on Judaism? Do you have any? I mean, I don't know if you want to speak on anything besides Christianity.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, my opinion on Judaism is the same as my opinion on most monotheistic religions, in the way that I believe that I believe that a strict Jewish family is going to be run much better than a strict atheist family. So it's not the religion I subscribe to. It's not the religion I believe in. However, I believe if you were to take a random poll, let's take a religion that I really don't believe in, like Mormonism. But if you're going to take a Mormon family, 10 Mormon families and 10 atheist families, if you were to take bets on, the body counts of their daughters, the degenerate behavior of their sons, the drinking habits of the fathers, the respect for the family unit and the father that the mother has, I would bet I'd bet on the Mormons every time, just like I'd bet on the Jews and the Muslims and the Christians and most religions, especially the monotheistic ones. So a lot of people out there have this. I don't know if that question was put together by one of these people who are hoping I'm going to sit here and trash Judaism. No, that's never going to happen. That's never going to happen.
No, I think they're just wondering because a lot of the talk is on Christianity and Islam, but I don't hear, and even myself, I don't speak too much on Judaism because I just don't really know that much about it, but that's besides the point.
Well, they're all Judaism is the foundation of the Christian religion, and the Christianity is the foundation of the Muslim religion.
Yeah.
You have to understand
They
that
don't
the Muslims
exist without
believe
each other.
Yeah, exactly. The Muslim religion believes that Jesus Christ was a prophet of God, but not the son of God. And all of the all of the prophets that are spoken about in the Torah, from Moses and Noah, etc., they are spoken about also in the Quran and the Bible. So they're all based on Judaism essentially. So I think it's very strange when I hear my Muslim friends or my Christian friends really trash Jews as bad people or stupid people when they put together the religion that became the building block of all of this. So no, I have nothing bad to say.
There's beef between all of them though. The Christians and Muslims go at it too, just as much as the Jews and the Muslims. They all got beef, even though they would not exist without each other.
Well, the Christians go at the Christians and the Muslims go at the Muslims. If you understand the Sunni and Shia split, if you understand the great schism that separated Catholicism from Orthodox Christianity, they go at each other too. And I think that's just human nature. And I believe that God, whatever he is beyond this and above this. So that's my opinion.
I want to ask you something personal. My dad is half Haitian, half Hungarian, so I'm probably like the same amount of black as you. Did you have an identity crisis growing up? You said that you were in a church and you were in that Hallelujah Baptist church. So, and you look white passing for the most part. How was that like growing up mixed?
Didn't even think about it. I didn't even think about it. I believe that the best way to America's a country where they manipulate the poor by trying to turn races against other races. And I know from personal experience that the way to stop racism being such a big issue is to stop talking about it. This is something that Morgan Freeman says as well. Very smart man. He's correct because I never felt like I'm the only white person in church. I only realized this as an adult. I was like, okay, this is my aunt. This is my grandma. We're going to church. They were black. My dad was black. My mother was white. My dad wasn't one of these BLM, let's talk about black rights, they're trying to keep the black man down kind of people. He wasn't. So I never really understood any American racial issues as a child. Remember, I left when I was 8 years old. But I was standing in that church thinking I'm with my grandmother and with my aunt. And all these people are our friends. And all these people are like, in what universe was I going to stand there and be like, shit, I'm surrounded by black people and I'm white passing. Like, it just wasn't a thing that was ever brought up. So racial issues, they come up when people talk about them.
When you
so I talk about racial. Yeah, exactly. So I talk about racial issues a lot in my personal conversations. I don't think I drag that kind of stuff onto YouTube so much because America is the only true multiracial country really in the world. Even England, which is quite a mixed country. A lot of the black people and the brown people came over to England in the 1940s and the 1950s. America is the only country that was really founded as a multiracial country. The black people and white people arrived at the same time for obviously very different reasons. A lot of Latinos and Mexicans arrived at the same time for many different reasons. The natives were sadly got a bad end of the deal, but essentially the country was founded as a mixed race country, and I believe that everyone's American, and I just don't like talking about racial issues. A few of them annoy me, and I could speak about all sorts of things that are going to cause all sorts of controversies, but I just think let's just shut up about it. And learn to see each other as fellow Americans. I think that's the way that America moves forward. Because when you look at countries like Romania, where there's no real racial tension, that's because everybody's Romanian. Everyone's Romanian, everyone kind of gets along, and no one wants to do any harm to each other. Americans need to get it through their head that they're all fucking American. I don't know in what universe they feel obligated to segregate themselves into different categories. Like, it's
identity politics. Everybody wants to feel unique, so everybody is going to identify with the country that they're from, or they're 10% Japanese, or they're 5% Irish. People like to have a lot of unique things about them, and Americans pick race.
Oh, Americans do this all the time. You see it all the time. You'll be talking to Americans, and they'll be like, "I'm Irish," and I'll be like, "Yo, you're Irish because my grandfather was from Limerick. Where's your parents from?" "Oh, my parents were born in Pennsylvania." "And your grandparents?" "Oh, well, they were born in Pennsylvania." No. My great-great-great-great-great-grandfather came over on this boat. Oh, shut the fuck up. You're not Irish, are you, you fucking nerd? Americans love doing this. And it's very strange to me as a man who's, actually... So I'm quarter Irish, a quarter English, half American, but the American that I am is a mix of African American and white American, of course, because I'm the descendant of slaves. And yeah, I find it very weird. I don't talk about myself as black, white, white passing. You know, I just say I'm mixed race, or my father was African American, or my mother was Irish. But I don't really see the big point in trying to paint my identity based on, you know, the skin color of my parents or my ancestors. I feel like I am Tristan Tate. Everyone knows me as Tristan Tate. No one knows me as Tristan Tate, the mixed race guy, because I don't fucking talk about it. And why would I? I don't think it's that important.
Mm. Do you think that that's what causes the most divide in America or in a country like England, is the multiracial aspect? You're saying that Romania does not have a lot of immigrants. Japan gets along for the most part. Russia, pretty much everybody's on the same page. Is immigration one of the biggest problems that a country faces when it comes to unity?
I would say yes. I would say yes, very short. And I could talk about immigration on length because I understand the process very well. I think the immigration policies of England were very successful because you have to understand a lot of the people who came to England weren't, I played this joke on my friend, cameraman, Jamaican ancestry. And I said, okay, so your grandparents are Jamaican and they came to England. He said, yeah. I said, so where was your granddad born? He said, is this a trick question? I said, motherfucker, you know me and I know history, so you know it's a trick question. He said, well, he was born in Jamaica. I said, no, he was born in the British Empire. The British flag flew above his school. He learned to respect the English rule of law. He understood that England were the authority figures in Jamaica, and everyone respected England and the crown and tried to be English. So when England let their first wave of immigrants in, it was overwhelmingly successful because these people weren't really foreigners. They may have been black, they may have been brown, but they were from India, they were from Jamaica. These places were in the British Empire at the time. They had the same passport as someone born in London. The passport just said that you were a subject of the Crown of England. The passport didn't say you were Indian or Jamaican. So I think immigration in England was overwhelmingly successful back in the day, but that's not a model that people should adapt now that countries are so divided and there's a lot of hatred towards America and England. You have to understand that it's never going to be as successful when you take a country that's had no influence from the parent country and just let people flood in. But I myself am an immigrant. I moved from England to Romania. I'm 0% ethnically Romanian, but I respect this country and I love this country. And I think there's nothing wrong with being an immigrant anywhere as long as you respect and care for the place that you live.
Where do you recommend I go next? I realize that Florida's an upgrade from New York. It's a little more, it's less communist. The taxes are lower. But ultimately, I don't think I want to raise a family in America. But I'm not sure. Where do you think I should go?
I would say go wherever you're happiest. You haven't traveled enough.
I've traveled
That's
a
your
lot.
problem.
I've traveled quite a bit.
Oh, have you? Okay, well, in which case, good. So you may already know where to go. Because the place you would go is not the place I would go. We're obviously very different people with very different backgrounds and different upbringings. So wherever makes you happy and whether you'd like to, wherever you get to and think, yeah, this place is cool. I really like this place. Wherever you get that good feeling. Because you may come to Romania and find it hostile. You may not like it here. I'm not going to say come to Romania. In fact, I tell everyone listening to me, don't come to Romania. It's a very hard country to get respect in, to integrate in. It's a very hard country to make a name for yourself. And I would not advise Romania as a place for immigrants to come. I personally really like it. But, now I'm a member of society here. So I don't know. That's the answer. Because the answer is going to be the same to everyone listening to this who's unhappy where they are. Do some traveling, find somewhere you like, and eventually, hopefully, you feel at home somewhere. And that's where you should stop.
How long did you have to be in Bucharest before you realized that's where you wanted to move?
I liked Romania immediately. But even when I first arrived here as a tourist, I already had important and good Romanian friends from the fight world. The people who run the big fight shows here. I was already integrated one way and another, even through my visits, through my high-level friends, which was a good way of me getting my foot in the door into Romanian society. But I immediately liked Romania, and I still like it to this day. I, right now, could live anywhere in the world that I choose. Anywhere on Earth, I could go and live. And I still choose to live here in Bucharest. So I like it very much.
You don't really talk that much about the importance of art. I hear you talk a lot about money, business, and even the content that you put out online is mostly, it was pretty much all podcasts and talking to a microphone. What do you think about the value of art? Do you think that people who start YouTube channels, people who go to Rumble and Getter, should they just make content similar to yours, like news coverage, podcasts, or is there any encouragement to make unique content?
Oh no, no, no. Art is wonderful and it's amazing, but it's also a very subjective concept. You have to understand that people think art. People have very different meanings of what they find art. Of what they define art as. I can look at paintings all day, and I've seen some wonderful oil paintings here at the Romanian monasteries and the ones that the Romanian priests like hide away. I've been given the tour. I've been very lucky to see some very amazing, valuable private art collections, but I'm just not an aficionado of art. Whereas I will look at the way vehicles are designed and look at cars and be like, okay, that's art to me. And it may sound stupid, but there are cars that I won't sell because I don't want the money, even though I don't drive them that much, because I think they look beautiful on my driveway.
Like that red car on your Instagram, your assistant was pushing that little red car. I don't know what the hell was that.
That is that little red car. You'll never see one of those unless you come to a former Soviet Union country. That is a Lada 1500. So back in the day, that's why I bought that car. Let's use that car as an example, because to me, that's art. It's art in lots of different ways. There's a saying, for art to be art, it needs to have no other purpose but to be art. And that car is fucking atrocious as a car. So I obviously didn't buy it as a car. As a man with Lamborghinis and Mercedes and BMWs and Bugattis, I don't need that car to be a car. But it's art in its design. It's art in the way it was put together. It's art in terms of the history behind it. You have to understand every car made in the modern day and age, in the modern era. Mercedes make BMWs. They compete against each other. And the competition is what makes the cars better and cheaper and faster. And Aston Martin are trying to outcompete Ferrari, and Lamborghini are trying to outcompete Porsche, trying to make their cars better, a superior product, better ride quality, faster engines at the lowest possible price. And competition is what drives this amazing economy and what drives, the innovation of things like the automobile. The Lada 1500 was built in a time that I don't think will ever be replicated again in human history. It was built at a time when the USSR controlled all of Eastern Europe and Russia, and they thought, you know what? We need cars for the people to drive. Get some engineers. Let's design a car. Okay, that's the car. Make loads of these, and that's what the people will drive. There was no competition. The government was in charge of everything, and they pumped these little piece of shit cars out. And it's the story behind it that when I look at it and think, someone bought that in 1979 in Russia, shipped it to Romania. Some communist politician was driving it back before the fall of communism in this country. And now as a capitalist with millions of dollars, it's sitting on my driveway in between right now a Rolls Royce and a Mercedes. I smile every time I see it. So yeah, I buy things just because they're art, but I wouldn't necessarily buy a painting. But you could find joy and pleasure in things in life just because they look beautiful or because they have a cool story behind them, and that's art. So no, if you're a content creator and you do painting or you play music or whatever it is, move over to Rumble and start pumping your content out there, because you need a variation of content, because not everybody wants to watch the same thing, and art is very important.
Did you ever have a misunderstood artist phase? I understand that you were really invested into kickboxing for a majority of your life, and now you're a businessman. But was there ever a phase where you wanted to be? I realize that I've talked to a lot of people like you, similar to you, that had a phase where they wanted to be a stand-up comedian or a piano player, or they wanted to be a painter, or photographer. Did you ever have that, or you've always pretty much known what you wanted to do?
I haven't always known what I wanted to do.
No?
But I've always known who I wanted to be. And I wanted to be the person that I felt I was becoming, and I wanted to be fucking rich. I'm not gonna lie. Wanted to be rich. And I got there. So I'm pretty happy about that.
What drove you to want to be rich? Like, I think that's one of the biggest differences between, like, I pretty much agree with you, and I notice a lot of similarities in our life path, but I didn't even want to be rich for a long time in my life. And maybe that comes from the fact that I grew up more middle class than you. You grew up poor, and so that's automatically ingrained in you from birth to want to be rich because it's what you don't have. But there was, like, up until recently, I really decided, like, I need to be rich. I need to get out of this. And
you do.
Maybe it's American broke. Like, I'm paying. I just made enough money to pay off my student loans, which was a big part of that. Like, that was so technically broke. If you look at negative money for a long time, if you look at all the debt that piled up, but maybe it's the illusion of not being poor. But for a long time, I was okay. I was living in an apartment in Harlem, and I just got out of Brooklyn. I was living in the hood for years, and I was fine with that. I just wanted to make my YouTube videos, inspire people. and then something flipped, and a lot of it was like content like yours to be able to have enough freedom to get out of that. But why do you think it is? Do you think it was just growing up poor that you always wanted to be rich?
Certainly growing up poor motivates you, but also it was not believing the dream that sold to a lot of people. I know lots of people in your position who did exactly the same things you did, went to university, you know, got your student loans out. But the way the Matrix talks to young men and the way the Matrix programs people, and I'm going to give you an example of this in a moment, is very much that it's all going to be okay. Oh, yeah, no, SNEAKO, you're going to university? Good. It's all going to be okay. Oh, you're going to get a good job after university? Don't worry, it's all going to be okay. So people believe that they're going to end up in this wonderful position eventually, especially when they grow up middle class or in the West, or especially when they follow the prescribed life path set out by the Matrix. You know, get a good, get a job. Go to school, go to university, get a job. One day you're going to be on $250,000, $300,000 a year because you're a university educated person. I think that I've always known that that wasn't true. So I wanted to become rich because I never had this everything's going to be okay mindset. I looked at the people around me and how the adults around me were living, the full-grown men around me in my town were living. If anyone wants to go to England and take a walk around Luton Town Centre,
they don't.
You'll see how fully grown adults live. And the truth is, it's not going to be okay. And one of the biggest psyops that I see purported by the Matrix and just social media and online in general is you have people who are very smart people who do very well, who are already multimillionaires, telling everybody shit like, one of the examples I heard, it was a comedian, a black guy, and it was an interesting story. He was like, microwave meals are very terrible, and microwave meals never tasted good, but grandma's cooking always tasted much better, but grandma spent longer marinating the meat, etc., etc. But to some of you out there, if you haven't got where you want to be and you haven't developed into something beautiful, delicious yet, you have to understand some people just need a longer time to marinate. It was something like this. But this is all over the internet. Oh, don't worry. It's all going to come at the right time. The universe at the right time is going to bless you, and you got to stay patient and stay true to yourself, and it's all going to work out. This is a psyop because 99% of people are born, live, and die in exactly the same income bracket. I mean, it's ridiculous. Someone who's completely flat broke will post memes like, some flowers take longer to bloom than others, so maybe I'm just one of those. No! Make yourself fucking bloom today. Because if you don't, you are going to be poor forever. You are going to be born poor, live poor, struggle your whole life, and you're going to fucking die poor unless you do something about it. And I've always known that. It wasn't necessarily being poor myself, because I was relatively happy poor. Me and my brother always had a great time. But I just knew that if I didn't do something to get rich, it wasn't going to come to me. No, not everything is okay. No, it's not going to happen at the right time. No, one day the universe isn't going to realize that I've been a good person my whole life and bless me with what I want from life. You have to go out there and take it. So I think that's a very important lesson. And I'd like all of you watching, when you see these memes come up, and you all know which memes I'm talking about, please comment on them and say, no, this kind of thinking is going to have you dying poor. Because you're going to have no plan, you're going to take no action, and you're going to assume it's all going to come to you at the right moment. And university students are programmed with this. So I don't necessarily want to say you were programmed. You've certainly escaped the Matrix now. But when you're at university studying, you think, yeah, I'm at university studying, I'm getting my degree. What the fuck does that even mean?
No, yeah.
What the fuck?
No, I knew it was a scam. I thought that I was like, I made all this justification. I dropped out.
Good.
I dropped out after 2 years, and the whole time I'm there, I'm like, well, I'll figure it out. I went to film school, and that's why I'm like, bro, I'm making videos on YouTube. Why would I go intern at a place and work for a studio to go be a TV camera operator? I'm going to be in here for 4 years to do this.
I don't know, bro. I've heard that Harvey Weinstein likes young Haitian boys. So.
Come on, man.
Oh, sorry. Nah,
that's okay.
I don't know. But
why do you think people accept their reality, their middle class, or their standard? Why do you think people accept not being rich? Do you think that it's all coping? Do you think it's all brainwashing? Or genuinely a lot of people are just going to be okay with that life?
I think it's a mix of both. I don't think everyone's going to be okay with that life, because I believe if you had a magical time machine where you could peer into the future and you were to show a guy who is complacent, chilling, likes to play video games too much, doesn't really have an action plan, is working some job, if you were to show him himself at 50, still flipping those burgers, he'd be like, whoa, that is fucked. I have to do something. I have to wake up. So if you're watching this podcast, this is that time machine right now. Stand yourself in front of the mirror if you are that person. Imagine yourself 30 years older. Imagine yourself fat, out of shape, bags under your eyes, wrinkles on your skin, gray hair. Imagine that man exactly where you are today. And if you don't like it, do something to change it. Because it's complacency that damages people. And that's a mix of brainwashing and programming and, your personality. It's a mix of lots of things. But I think growing up really impoverished and looking around at the other adults, who are still I was 16, 17 years old working at McDonald's. I was working with people who were in their 40s and 50s doing exactly the same job as me. And I thought, whoa, this is fucked. I'm going to have to do something.
Why did that click in your head? That clicked in my head really early too. And that was always my biggest fear, was being complacent and not having a life of abundance and not doing what I wanted to do. Why do you think most people don't make that realization?
I don't know why most people don't. It came to me so naturally. My brother certainly helped. I remember once I was watching a YouTube video. It was a debate, actually. I can't even remember what the debate was about. And I said, I was maybe 19 years old at the time. My brother was 20. We were living in a one-bedroom apartment. We could barely pay the rent on. I was watching this debate. I said, whoa, Andrew, this debate is killer. You've got to come watch this debate with me. He looked at me straight in the face and said, Tristan, what the fuck do you care who wins this debate? We are broke. Turn it off. And I was like, you know what? That's a very good point. We're broke. What the fuck do I care about these two people debating X, Y, Z? I don't even remember what they were talking about to this day because I turned it off. Because he's right. We were broke. So Andrew was a big inspiration to me as well because he was a lot more, as unhappy as I was with our current financial situation, he was a lot more unhappy. And it may just be that he was a year and a half older than me because I found myself when I reached the marks in age that he was a year and a half later down the line, I find myself thinking and speaking in exactly the same way he was. But he was correct. Why the fuck was I watching that debate? At least watching content like you and content like me is going to wake people up and encourage them to make positive changes in their life. That's the kind of content you should be consuming. But if you're watching a debate on, I don't know, the war in Ukraine or, the England leaving the European Union, or even if you're watching, I'll go as far as saying even if you're watching an American presidential debate, and these two candidates are arguing and you're flipping burgers, bro, you're going to be flipping burgers whoever fucking wins. Turn it off. Do something else.
How did you not get upset about hearing that? Because I've said similar things to my family members. Like, if we get into a pointless argument, it's like, well, you're broke. You're not successful. Yeah. And it hurts their feelings. And I mean, even I said something hurtful to my dad when I had my first six-figure. I'm going to be completely transparent, even though I said I had my first six-figure month, and I'm like, I just made more in a month than you make in a year. And when you say stuff like that, it hurts a lot of people's feelings rather than inspires them. When you heard Andrew say you're broke, why do you think that you were able to separate your feelings where most people are like, why would you say that?
Well, I've never been an emotionally led person. I've always been objectively factual person. So if someone says to me, for example, I got a comment on one of my fucking photos on Instagram recently saying, "Oh, bro, your hair's receding," and I'm like, I'm 34 years old. Yeah, my hair's receding. Oh, I'm 34. Like what? What am I gonna do? Say no, it's not? Shut the fuck up. Like if someone calls me broke or if someone says something about me that's true, fuck am I gonna say? Argue with them? Tell them that they're wrong? I'm happy to accept the truth of the universe. And I think we should all be happy to accept the truth of the universe. And if you're not, then you have work to do on yourself. Perhaps there were stages in my life where I was a little more touchy about things like that. But I think certainly with age and wisdom, because you have to understand, I didn't make my first million until I was 28. I didn't have any real money in terms of being able to do what I want and buy a nice car until I was 24 and a half. Like, I was broke a lot longer than I've ever been rich. And I just knew it. I think it comes with age and experience. There was certainly more I could have done when I was 18, 19, 20, 21. But I didn't have the role models that young men have today. I didn't have the access to intelligent people that young men have today. So I think today there's a lot less of an excuse. But if you find yourself, if someone says something about you, let's use fitness. I had some surgery on my arm in January. I'm getting back into shape now. I'm looking good these days. I'm gonna have some progress pictures coming soon because I've been. I'm gonna let people into a little secret. Me and my brother have been working on a supplement line, but I myself have been experimenting with this, trying to get my own fitness back into check. After my surgery in January, I'm walking around with no shirt in my house. My brother looked at me and said, "Bro, you look fucked. You look fat as fuck." And I was out of shape for me. I was still in better shape than the average person. I looked in the mirror. I was like, you know what? Fuck, I do look fat as fuck. I can't wait to get back into shape. What am I going to do? Tell him he's wrong? Tell him not to hurt my feelings? You know, especially if you have good friends around you, let people encourage you by telling you the truth. Young men will come to me with their business ideas, and I'll say, fucking give up. That's the worst business idea I've ever heard, and that's never going to work. And now, if you wish to pursue it after the fact, that's fine, because that's your own personal choice. But I'm going to tell you it's shit, because I'm not going to lie to you. And try to take people's opinion, and people you trust and people you respect's opinion, into account. That's the best advice I can give. So if you're hanging around with a bunch of fucking losers, that's dangerous. Because if you put on 30 pounds by being a lazy fuck over the next 6 months, your friends aren't going to tell you. You know, you're going to read shit on the internet, cope like girls like dad bods, and you're going to be like, oh, well, girls like dad bods. Fuck you talking about? Girls aren't like dad bods.
You seemed the same amount. Do you consider yourself happier before and after YouTube? Because I think one of the differences between me and you is that most of my satisfaction in life comes from the fact that I can inspire people and I can share my art online, and I can inspire people, and I get the satisfaction that an artist gets from mostly my main channel, not my streaming channel. But you seem the same amount of happy before and after YouTube. Well, I didn't know you beforehand, but what changed? Because I get most of my satisfaction in life does not really come from riches. It comes from who I inspire and then the connection with people. What's changed about your attitude on life? The fact that so many people look up to you and are inspired by you.
Well, I'm the same amount of content. I've always been content, although I strive for more. I wake up in the morning, I'm healthy, my fucking arms, legs, and my dick work. I've got my brother next to me. You know, I'm living well, I'm eating well, I'm sleeping well. I have been doing for many, many years. The contentment hasn't changed. My level of wealth has increased, certainly, and it will do every year for the next 20 years till I decide to just, you know, give up and enjoy myself. And I've always been content. I think that it's added a level of happiness because, like you said, there are things that I didn't experience before that are now a big part of my life. You know, just like I get the hate comments and the hit pieces and the stupid videos, the emails I get and the messages I get of people saying that I've inspired them to make a positive change, you know, and you do this, you talk about me in this way, that nothing makes me happier than that. So I feel like I was missing out beforehand because I had a lot to teach the world, and perhaps, I mean, I can call it selfishness almost. I was too wrapped up in living my wonderful life. Everything that's happening now, I'm exactly as content as I was before, but believe me, I am happier knowing that I have the power to help people.
I saw the kids surround you on your boat in Croatia when you docked, and you see like a horde of teenagers and young adults stand there. What is that? How does that affect you? Because before, you weren't really famous before. You might have been known as an entrepreneur or something like that. But how have you handled the fame?
You know what? In a very boring way. You have to handle it in a personal security kind of way, etc. But the actual fame, it does get annoying being stopped on the street all the time or having crowds form or they find out you're in a restaurant, etc. But I try not to let it bother me because I understand that because the fame isn't necessarily good, but I feel like it's a price I have to pay. To be a positive role model in so many young men's lives and to inspire so many young men, I feel like is a gift. Like I said about me not wanting to run this fight to take on big tech and to build other platforms, etc. Maybe I was chosen for it, but I can't look at it as a negative thing as much as it may negatively affect my life sometimes. I'm just a lot more careful. I roll with more bodyguards. I keep my movements a lot more secretive, etc. But it's easy to handle. What, a bunch of people who love me and admire me? The people who hate me don't turn up in big mobs. They just write shit on the internet because they're scared of me. So, you know,
have you ever
it makes
encountered a hater in real life? I almost never.
Not one.
Never.
Not one. Not one ever. And I don't think I ever will. So.
What does that say? What do you say?
Because who on earth is going to think I don't like those two giant, strong kickboxing brothers who roll with a team of security? Let me go and fuck with them in person. These people are cowards. They're never going to think that. Not in a million years. So.
What do you think that says about the human psyche? The fact that people exercise so much hate online, but in real life, they probably wouldn't even look at you twice. I don't even notice like dirty looks or anything like that. But yeah. the amount of hate I hear online is a daily thing.
Well, it's a testament to their own character. It's a testament to their own character. And that people will make brand new profiles and, you know, with no followers and no following and no display pic just to write hateful comments to you. And it honestly makes me happy. It honestly just builds me up to understand that the number of hours put in per day to trying to bring me down are more hours than I could possibly live in a day. Hundreds of hours sometimes per day are taken from people who dislike me. And I'm just like, good. These people are wasting their lives, giving me their energy. I feel powered by it. Right? I feel fueled by it. So
it's motivation. It's a sense of motivation. Like the other day, I didn't want to stream, and then I saw 3 videos drop, all an hour long, edited up, and just like hating on me, and it woke me up a little bit. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, and good. And good. They're taking time out of their lives, but I would never do that. And I don't think that's a good way to behave. I mean, you could comment on people's videos, you could comment on people talking about you, but I'd never just watch someone for what they're saying unless what they were saying was genuinely... No, I don't think I'd ever watch someone who was saying something stupid and then comment on it and make a hit piece on it, because I don't want to give those people my energy. You have to understand that people with the right frame of mind are built up by this. So if any of my haters do see clips of this and do watch this, please keep spending your time thinking about me, because I don't know your name, I don't know your struggle, I don't know your problems, but I'm living well. I think it was Floyd Mayweather who said something like this. He said, look, if you want to talk shit about me or my boxing career or my trainers or my friends, don't worry about me, because I'm living well. Worry about yourself. I'm a billionaire. I'm the best boxer who ever lived. Don't worry about me. It's all fine for me. So, yeah, I like it. I'm not going to pretend I don't.
It's eye-opening hearing you. When I asked the question, how do you handle the fame, I was curious to if you enjoyed it or not, but you only talked about it as if it was a negative thing. I'm seeing a lot of entrepreneurs and people like you want to get into this game because they desire fame. And it seems like you never desired that. But I noticed a lot of like crypto guys, entrepreneurs, e-commerce dudes, they're kind of following your method, and they're now getting into the YouTube space because they have all the riches, they have a lot of money, but you guys talk a lot about you can't make money and not become a dork. You're still a dork. And so they want that level of respect, and they want to be admired. Why do you think that you didn't desire fame?
I feel like I've always been proud of myself and who I am. I think a lot of people look for validation from other people. And I think that's why I never really desired it. It's a consequence, and it's one of the circumstances that I now find myself in for everything that I've done, everything my brother has done. But, if you're really, truly content and love yourself, lots of people desire fame to make the money. But it's the guys chasing fame for the sake of fame say they already have money. They're unhappy about something, I think, perhaps. I mean, if you're a YouTuber and you make your money from YouTube, good. Chase the fame, chase the numbers, because now you're also chasing your paycheck. You're chasing, what's gonna put food on your table, what's gonna get you through life. But just for the sake of having all these people following you around and commenting on you and trying to take pictures of you in the street, it's not that great, if I'm honest. And because I'm so happy in love myself, and when I'm sitting around with my friends, whether it be at a 5-star restaurant or like literally on someone's kitchen floor drinking cheap cans of beer, I'm so happy. I don't give a fuck who knows who I am. So I think you could tell a lot about somebody's station in life and how proud they are of themselves and how happy they are with themselves by how hard they chase fame.
What do you think people can do to stop being dorks? What's the best way to try to fix the dorkum?
I think everybody knows already. Everybody knows the answer. A healthy body is a healthy mind. Get into shape. Try to look your best. Try to become more knowledgeable. Whether that be watching YouTube videos, watching stuff that my brother or you put out. Just try to understand the world better. Try to understand that you can't just walk through the world as a dork, because the things you desire don't come very freely to dorks. I would like to think that every single young man watching would love to have a beautiful woman. They would, wouldn't they? Beautiful women don't like dorks. They really don't. So look at the things you want from life, and look at who you are as a person, and think, how can I positively change myself to get the things that I want from life? And I think you're naturally going to come out of your dork state just from doing that. If you understand 1% how women think, how high value men think. I'm a high value man, and people message me all the time. Hey man, I'd love to sit down and play a game of chess with you. I'd love to sit down and smoke a cigar with you. Don't send me that message without first looking at who you are and thinking, would Tristan Tate benefit or want to sit around with me and play chess and smoke cigars, what would I talk to Tristan Tate about? And if the answer is I just love to fanboy on him, then you're probably a fucking dork, and you know, do something about yourself to change that.
That's what I've realized from your impact on social media is that inherently I've always known that, and even before you, it was like guys like Dan Bilzerian or like the stereotypical high value man, bitches, in shape, big houses, big cars, and everything. That's what every man inherently wants. That's what every like man has wanted at when we were like 12, and then the Matrix beats it out of you slowly. They make you cope, and they make you say that you want other things. I'm okay with the dad bod. I want to be monogamous. I want these other things. I don't want that life. And what separates me from a lot of the content creators I've realized is that most people would rather not admit that, and they would rather make justifications for why they're at that point in their life. And you see what happens, because when you're a content creator, you don't get cool points for being a fan of somebody else. You don't get to make a hit piece. I can't make a 57-minute edited up video of you or Andrew, because what would I say? I would just be complimenting the whole time. I would just be saying how I've been inspired. And it's because I think a lot of people, and you've probably seen it, you don't get cool points for supporting someone. Everyone says every day, like, you're a dick rider, you're a fan, and I don't get bothered by that, because I'm upgrading my life, and I've realized that the life that you're living is the ideal life for most men. Just most people are coping and decide not to want that.
And you have to understand that all these men are doing the same thing themselves. If you were to start complimenting me in this chat, and please don't, saying, "Oh, Tristan, I think you're the best, and I think you're a cool guy. I think you live well. I think you dress well. I think that you've made a lot of money. I think you're smart," and the people would type in the chat, "Dick rider, dick rider, dick rider." Well, what the fuck are you watching us for? You're watching me. You're sitting at home watching me and SNEAKO talk. Who the fuck are you to say shit like that? Like, literally, no one knows who you are on this stream, and you're sitting watching us. And that would be, I think, a very low percentage of the people watching. But some people would be saying that. But at the same time, how do they know if they aren't spending their own time being a fan of myself or you? So it's a very strange mirror that you need to kind of hold up to the viewers at home when they start saying stuff like that. So it happens a lot when my brother goes on Twitch. They're talking, and they'll be like, "Oh, dick rider." They tell people, or tell the streamers are dick riding Andrew for giving me a compliment. I'm like, well, this stream is massive, and a bunch of people are watching this because my brother's on the fucking stream. So what does that make you? Like, it's the way it is. It's much easier to hate, and yeah, you get a lot more points for it.
Yeah, that's the nature of social media. Negativity is what people. It really encourages a lot of negativity. There's not a space for positive speak. It's immediately shot down.
Well, we are creating it, I think, because now with the way that I speak, the way you speak, and the way a lot of people who I've influenced, who have watched me and Andrew speak, you know, I have videos literally of guys at their school, 15-year-old boys, playing that stupid theme tune that's associated with my brother, opening doors for women who walk by and letting the women into the classroom. And I look at that and I just think, you know what? Good. I like to create positivity, and I like to put it out there, and I like to see, you know, young men become better men, and it's very cool. And I think that guys like us are hopefully, and there's lots of good guys online, lots of fitness trainers, lots of guys who preach a lot of good stuff. But I think with our popularity that we currently have, all of us, us two as well, I feel like we are now creating a positive dynamic and a positive conversation and positive talking points. This whole fucking podcast has been positive. No one's going to walk away from this having not learned something important about themselves, or you know, or haven't taken away a lesson that they can apply to their lives and make their lives better. And yeah, just keep doing it. You keep doing it on your own personal streams as well, because you know the world needs this. Just because everyone's doing one thing doesn't mean doing the opposite is wrong. Sometimes that's the best thing to do. And all the content creators, I would say, do exactly the same thing if you can. And also get over to Rumble.
I'm on Rumble, SNEAKO Live. I want to start streaming there. And is the monetization system good? That's the one thing I'm a little bit worried about.
Oh, it's good. It's good. You know, you'll do well on Rumble. You'll do well on Rumble. And you know, and hopefully you can pull in some bigger audiences, because your fans want to see you. They don't want to watch YouTube. They want to watch you speak. So if you make a big enough deal and a big enough splash and a big enough, you know, song and dance about the fact that you're going to be on Rumble, I feel like your fans are going to follow you, and you know, you could speak more freely there. You could be a lot less careful there. You could say, like, you know, like your honest, true opinions there about lots of things. And And so you should, and in which case your fans are gonna resonate with you more, get to know you better, and if super chats are something that that helps finance your life and that is helping you get to where you want to be, then good, because you work hard, man. You're streaming like almost every day, aren't you?
Every day, yeah.
Like you work hard, so everyone feel free to. If you're watching me and you're a fan of me, fucking throw some super chats in. You don't even have to ask questions. Support this young man because he's working harder than most people I know.
I don't know if you've ever seen my videos, but to the chat too, I just dropped a documentary on my main channel, SNEAKO. There's a short film and documentary on there. That's my bread and butter. This streaming thing is just a side hustle. That's where me and Tristan diverge. Is that at heart I'm more of like I got that misunderstood artist. One day I want to be a filmmaker. I got into this because I wanted to be a stand-up comedian. It's very different than.
I saw that you did some stand-up. I didn't actually watch it. I'm a busy man, but I've seen clips of you doing stand-up on TikTok, etc. So people have sent me. Not one day I want to be a filmmaker. One day you will be a filmmaker, my friend, because I believe you have the drive and ambition and the plan to do so. You're not one of those people who is just sitting around thinking, "Oh, I want to be this one day," with no plan. Mm-hmm. And a dream without a plan is just. Oh, what's the saying? Fuck. A goal without a plan is just a dream. Is that it? It might be. Anyway, that sounds correct.
A goal without a dream is delusion.
Yeah, well, yeah. Also true. Hey,
right. Thanks for coming on. It's pretty late where you're at. You're making me want to have a cigar. I can't smoke inside. I'm not at that level in my apartment yet. It's gonna stink up the whole shit.
Right. Make sure you do 200 push-ups first, man. Health is wealth. So make sure you do 200 push-ups first.
200 push-ups.
Then have your drink. I'm just saying, I do sets of 50 if need be. But any young men out there, if you're gonna smoke, if you're gonna drink, make sure you earn it. Make sure you take care of your health first. And that's it. Thank you for having me on, SNEAKO. I appreciate you always, man. I appreciate you, and keep up the good work.
Let's do it again in a couple weeks so that some time could pass and we have something to talk about. But I would love to have you on again.
Absolutely. In the months to come, especially in around the beginning of November time, I'm gonna have some very exciting things to talk about and some very exciting things coming up for myself and my brother, and I'm happy to jump on the channel and tell everyone all about them. But yeah, we'll stay in touch in the meantime. Stay safe. Peace. Everybody watching, thank you very much for your support. Thanks for supporting this channel. Make sure you subscribe to me on Rumble. That's rumble.com/Tate Speech. You can find me on Getter at Talisman Tate. I've also got Tate Confidential on Tate Speech. And move over to SNEAKO on Rumble as well. He's going to be doing some posts and posters of videos on there as well.
SNEAKO Live. SNEAKO Live on Rumble.
SNEAKO Live on Rumble. And also make sure you support his YouTube as well, because he's working very hard. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Peace out. Have a wonderful evening.
Be safe.
I've got plans, so I'm going to have a good time tonight. See you guys later.
Keep fighting the good fight, man. Enjoy. All right. W. Tristan Tate. Great stream. Chat, time to do some push-ups. You know what? And I did go to the gym today. I was about to say it at the end, but I didn't want to be like, well, I did go to the gym. He's just going to call me a pussy. Fuck it, chat. Let me get some W's. That was a great conversation. Let's do it. I'm wearing fucking dress pants too. I didn't stand up the whole time. Hey, Tristan, I did go to the gym right before this. You can see it in my Instagram story if you don't believe it. Come on, chat. Can't just be nerds all day. Not doing nothing. You want to end up like those fucking weirdos talking to 13-year-old girls? Fucking with teddy bears and cat ears? I'm a gamer. Shut the fuck up. Do some push-ups too. Look at that W4, chat. Perfect. All the way up, all the way down, chest to the floor, head all that shit. Butt not dipping. Someone count, what am I doing? Ooh. Woo! Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Oh, echo. Ah! SNEAKO Live on Rumble. Creativity Kid, we got a call tomorrow at 4 p.m. That's a great place to network and meet people and also learn a lot of shit. Make sure that you bob and weave all the bullshit that's online. Don't just be on TikTok scrolling. You need to be making money on this shit. Diversify your income, and you're spending so much time online. It's time to start making money on it. A good way to start is the Creativity Kit, link in description. Just went public. Also make sure, if you want to easily go viral, clip up any of this stream, put it up on TikTok. I'll re-upload all my streams on patreon.com/SNEAKO. I'll leave this up for a little bit, but all of them. And if you want to go back and TikTok anything from my streams, anything, all this is TikTok worthy. Put it up, download it. Ain't no echo. SNEAKO live on Rumble, at SNEAKO on Instagram. Shout out to Tristan Tate one more time. Keep on fighting the good fight, everybody. Make sure to wake up. Ignore the distractions, bro. There we go, my Rumble right here. Follow me on Rumble. Hey, yo, Rumble CEO, I know you watching this. Let me get verified. SNEAKO live on Rumble, let me get verified. That was more than fucking 20. I already went to the gym today, chat. Get off my dick. Get off my dick. I'm about to go inside and enjoy life too. I encourage all of you, don't spend your time all day online. Go outside too. You need to have valuable life experience in order to start making money. A lot of you have made more money than me. There's a lot of people watching this way richer than me. But you've seen me upgrade my life in real time. But I'm not doing 200. I'm not doing 200. I already fucking guess 30. Where else can you follow me at? My main channel, SNEAKO. I just dropped a documentary. Peace out, chat. I'm about to go. I'm about to get out of here, bro. A lot of people don't even fuck with this drum music. Follow God. Make sure not to listen to too much demonic music. It's fun once in a while, though.
BSF will stay up being lame. Why you running? I ain't even flame. Shoot a double hit, that's how I got my aim. He like I shot, he walking with a cane. That's how I keep mentioning my name. When you see me, nigga, you better flame. Like, and you said Dougie be gon' get murdered. It's my brother, I'm up in that thing. DOA, I'm a geek on the track. Bitch, BK, I'ma leave it like that. Like that, everything dead, I ain't giving no tap. If you ride it with him, then you getting tired. And they like, hey, he got a cool. Niggas pussy, nigga, we ain't cool. Niggas smoking with niggas who smoking my man. So bro, I'm up and on him too. Niggas politicking, they be fake. Wanna talk a fuck about my face. Watch out, get out, chat. Who in the way? Hit up with me if you feel away. Or I'll get up with you, nigga, either way. Done talking, bitches, EBK. 700 bitches.
Yo, you know the song? This is me, chat. If I'm Morpheus, you could be Neo.
Get money, get money, get money, get money, get money, get busy. Look, can't fucking no bitch, that's basic. Look at my swag, my drip is contagious. I call her Grace, the face is amazing. I just might slide, get low like the Matrix, like, they took a foul and we getting flagrant, like, baby, I'm dripping in off-white. Look at my shirt, my collar say Dior. I take a perk and fuck all night. She said she tired of sucking my meat off. Or if it's beef, then it's on site. I'm with some shooters promoting the violence. Big punch of rappers, I feel like Osiris. Hollows much better than the rise. We going up lit. Listen, my flow, it gets so sick. Out of that old shit. I can't go back to my old bitch. We get the money and stack it up. Can't fuck with that bitch, it ain't fat enough. We get the bitch and ball it up. Like tennis might give her a racket, son. You broke, you can't show a stack of son. I came with a band, I got a drum. You moving like you got the packet, son. We used to stay niggas just for fun. Everything changed when you get a gun. I thought you was tough, so why you run? I'm on a block, I just been taking it. She on my body, she just been shaking it. Too many clocks, I just be naming it. Slide with a chop, I just start flaming it. 2 or 3 shots. I'm on that baby shit, call up he died. He with the gangsta shit, I pull up 5. He on that gangsta shit, I gotta die. She been a mania in love. I gotta die, she been a mania in love. Can't fuck with no bitch that's basic. Look at my swag, my drip is contagious. Can't fuck with no bitch that's basic. Look at my swag, my drip is contagious. I go to Grace, the face is amazing. I just might slide, get like the Matrix, like.
If I'm Morpheus, you could be Neo. Bye, chat. See you tomorrow. W Daily Stream. I'm out of here. Get on. Gang. OG. No. No gangster. No gangster.
Don't get back!
Don't get back.
Nico, le sale mi.
I can talk on walkers on with that. I put them long in the soul, don't forget that. EK just hop with the OJ. Don't run, I ain't let him trip. Hop with the feet and niggas out the bitch. He away, give all that shit to my dick. Taki B got shot in his leg, what the fuck? Feet keeps, I know you gon' hop. Smoke on CL, we don't give a fuck. If it's out there, we leaving it stuck. We like supposed to be Diddy and yellow. I just came back and I'm feeling like metal. Take the fuse, take the stats. I really put this shit on my back. When he died, he was tracking the high. So I told him I'm smoking the high. Fuck Boomer, that nigga go. How the fuck you put bro in your song? He wanna WC me, he wanna beat me. That's why we don't get along. I go choke on one cause I'm with that. I put them little niggas on, don't forget that. EK just hop with the OJ. Don't run, I ain't let him trip. Hop with the V and niggas up the bitch. Deal with giggle that shit to my dick. Taki B got shot in the leg, what the fuck? Feet keeps, I know you gon' hop. Like put little fan in the truck. But I know you gon'
Last one, I'm out of here. Bro.
Hey yo, man.
Yeah, I gotta pick all this shit up. I'm acting like I'm not gonna pick this shit up too.
Many men wish death upon me, blood in my eyes, dog, and I can't see. I'm trying to be what I'm destined to be, and Soy Boy's trying to take my life away. I put a hole in the Soy Boy for fucking with me. My back on the wall, now you gon' see. Better watch how you talk when you talk about me, cause I'll come and take your life away. Many Soy Boys, many feminists wish death on me, Lord. I don't cry no more. Don't look to the sky no more. Have mercy on me. These pussy niggas put money on my head. Gon' get you refund, motherfucker. I ain't dead. I'm the diamond in the dirt that ain't been found. I'm the underground king, and I ain't been crowned. When I rhyme, something special happen every time. I'm the greatest. Something like Ali in his prime. I walk the block with the bundles. I've been knocked on the humble. Swing the ox when I rumble. Show your ass with my gun.
Many Soy Boys, many feminists wish death upon me.
Yours too nasty.
Bow, 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 bow.
Bow, 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 bow. Like every out shot, nigga, everything dead. Bow, 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 bow. Suck my dick. Don't run no trap, like, don't run no trap, like.
Watch my eyes get ugly, I can do.
Like I did the sunny. Think I'm liking that nigga a dummy. He think I'm a rapper, he think this shit funny. Okay, that both ways. Put through the photo, I'm yelling like dogs. Don't run, don't go trip. Take to my apartment to throw more than 6. On the rebel or lift. Hop out, gang up on him and his bitch. Fuck it. I'm in fashion, I better still up it. He not faster than on. Don't run. Fuck it.
Back out, put the beat on the public. Get out, keep dumping.
Get out, baby, that kid, it don't know. OJ rap, I had most of them ducking. Nigga, stop putting names in your song.
You alright, something's wrong.
Block, show me you perform.
They can't wait till I catch him a word. Oh wait, let's get it on. He became a shot feeling like Belly.
He get shot if you talk out. Make it sexy. Bitches get shot to get heavy. Like we're nasty. We gon' bet through that block, even messy. Bitch, I'm a stomper, I don't really step. I don't do the step. Nigga, I'm a vet. Better watch your step. Better come correct. I'm a demon, so watch me check. Bow! I say love. I slept with a notch, pound in the tech. Yeah, I'll fuck it down with wreck. Get the LV, put him on his neck. LVK! Go, boom! Go, boom!
Peace out. See you tomorrow, chat.